Freezing weather has hit the Mobile Cotton Bowl in Dallas, but that will not keep the sellout crowd from filling the historic stadium and getting set for kickoff for the 5th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the unbeaten and 3rd-ranked Aggies of Texas A&M. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to Bowl Day 93 at NBC Sports. After the Mobile Cotton Bowl, we'll have the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl, where the 9th-ranked Orangemen of Syracuse will meet 6th-ranked Colorado. Then after the Fiesta, it'll be number 4 Florida State taking on 10th-ranked Nebraska in the Federal Express Orange Bowl. I'll be here throughout the long day with scores and highlights, and we are working now to confirm a newspaper report this morning that Larry Smith is out today as head football coach at USC. Right now, let's join Tom Hammond and Paul McGuire in Dallas.
It's the 5th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the 3rd-rated Aggies of Texas A&M in the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic. The temperature fell some 40 degrees in Dallas yesterday, and as the teams took the field just moments ago, the wind chill 20 with a chance of freezing rain before the day is over. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dallas. Happy New Year. Tom Hammond and Paul McGuire with you. You know, there was a lot of controversy about the selection of Notre Dame for this Cotton Bowl, so the Irish have something to prove today, and so does Texas A&M. Skeptics say their schedule is soft, but they're out to prove 12-0 was no fluke. Both coaches think a win today, and they could finish as high as 2nd in the final poll. Paul, one thing we do know, these teams have excellence in the running game.
Both of these teams got here by running the football. If Texas A&M wants to win this football game, which they do, they're going to have to throw the ball. And I'm talking about between 20 and 25 times in this ball game. Now, the field is wet, but it's not frozen, and they're expecting some freezing rain. I don't think it's going to come.
Now, 4 A&M players have been suspended by the university as they look into allegations of improper payments from a summer job. One of those, starting tailback Greg Hill, who gained over 1,300 yards. How do you compensate for his loss?
Well, you've got Rodney Thomas. It's going to put a lot of strain on Rodney Thomas. He carries the ball somewhere between 10 and 14 times a ball game because Hill is there. But Thomas is going to have to carry the ball now between 25 and 30 times in this ball game. I think he can do it. They will spell him once in a while.
And Notre Dame with one of the best running attacks in the country, that thunder and lightning backfield, Jerome Bettis and Reggie Brooks. They shared a pregame embrace just a few moments ago. It'll be the final game for Brooks and maybe the last Notre Dame game for Bettis. He's a junior, but he may decide to turn pro and forego his final year of eligibility. Texas A&M wins the toss. They defer into the second half, so Notre Dame will get the ball first. Miller, the deep man for the Irish, as Venetoulias kicks it off. It bounces into the end zone through the hands of Miller, who will cover it there for the touchback. There is a flag on the play.
Where that flag is, it looks like it would be offside Notre Dame. Isn't it interesting? Texas A&M already, Tom, they go to their defense right off the bat.
That wrecking crew defense, one of the best in college football. Lou Holtz will face it to open the game. A Big 8 officiating crew day. And the mic shorts out, but it is offside against Notre Dame. And the penalty declined, and Rick Meyer leads his offense onto the field. The Irish averaging over 37 points a game. Meyer concluding a record-setting career. The all-time Irish total offense touchdown pass leader. Brooks and Bettis, thunder and lightning, over 2,100 rushing yards between them. Dawson, top receiver. And on the offensive line, Taylor and Hall have received All-American mention. Two wide receivers to the right, I formation in the backfield. Bettis the fullback, Brooks is the tailback. Reggie Brooks averaging 8 yards a carry for the season, picking his way forward for a gain of 3. Now the wrecking crew defense of A&M that led the Southwest Conference in all the major defensive categories. That Aggie front, Adams, Teichelman, and England, an all Southwest Conference front. Buckley leads the team in sacks. Atkinson, the 2nd leading tackler. And in the secondary, Glenn set a conference record, breaking up 20 passes. All-American free safety Bates is the top tackler on the team. Again, it's Brooks. Slips. Falls forward to the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up for Notre Dame.
Jim Ruddy, the center, is going to get to the outside. They're going to run to the right. Now, does Brooks trip on his own? He trips or slips when he goes to the line of scrimmage. I thought for a second he tripped, but this we talked about. This field is wet, but it isn't frozen.
There's Brooks, one of the leading rushers in the nation. Brooks now lined up on a wing to the right. Myers' first pass of the day. Plenty of time, dumps it off short, complete. Tight end Irv Smith with the grab and takes it across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and the Irish have a first down.
When you have this much time, Meyer, when he's back there to pass, I'm going to tell you, Smith is not his primary target. Watch Meyer looking downfield, but look at the time he has. No one crosses the line of scrimmage. And then, at the last second, Smith just slips out after his block and picks up the first down. Heads-up play by the quarterback, Meyer.
There's Irv Smith, professional prospect, 6'4", 246, second leading receiver for the Irish. That was his 21st reception of the season. 15-yard gain. Adrian Gerald in the game for the Irish. Fake to Bennis and the option play. And Bennis does get the handoff from Meyer and gets short yardage, maybe a yard, as the Irish run the option. Sam Adams on the tackle for the Aggies. Let's go to Hannah Storm, who's with us on the sideline today.
Thanks, Tom. Well, I listened in on R.C. Slocum's pregame speech to his young Aggies, and he had great advice for this team considering how young they are. He talked about poise. He talked about the 1988 game when Notre Dame drove down the field right away and scored on the Aggies, but that was the only touchdown that they had. The Aggies came back to win that game 35-10. Tom, poise is what he stressed for this team today, and they might need it.
All right, Hannah, here's a play-action pass, and Meyer going deep. And off the hand of the intended receiver, Mike Miller, as Aaron Glenn defended for the Aggies.
That ball just hung up in the air, but again, Rick Meyer had time to throw the football. He is going to they're going to have to, the Aggies put some pressure by blitzing. All right, we take a look on the top side, and number 31 is Aaron Glenn. He's the man that's in the coverage. Watch what he does. Cuts back to the inside and misses the football. This should have been a catch for at least a first down.
Miller, the speedster for the Irish, had it in his hands but couldn't hold on. And it's 3rd and 9 for Notre Dame. Opening possession of the game. Aggies show blitz, and here they come. It's a handoff. Brooks bounces off one man, takes it to the outside, makes another cut. Brooks close to the first down on a tremendous run, dodging tacklers all the way. Finally, Michael Hendricks knocked him out, but Reggie Brooks show you why he became one of the most exciting runners in college football in this, his only year as a regular for the Irish.
Oh, and Brooks does this by himself. Look at the man who makes this play. If we can hold this, we're going to show it again, obviously, but Atkins is the man, number 43, that makes the play. He's the guy that goes up and strips everything, gets Bettis out of the play also. When we take a look at it, watch 43. Watch what he does when he comes in. He's going to hit Bettis and knock him into Brooks. He makes the play. Now all he needs is some help. What I'm talking about now is where Brooks does this by himself and gets the first down. Just determination by Brooks.
3 carries, 16 yards for Reggie Brooks, the first 1,000-yard rusher in Lou Holtz's tenure at Notre Dame. He picked up the first down. Brooks slips. Flat on his back at midfield.
Well, Brooks slips, but you got to look at the nose tackle, Teichelman, on this play. What he does, watch the slip right by the center. When he gets that penetration, number 58, it forces Brooks to make a move. Now, Teichelman does not get into the backfield, Tommy, but he does force Brooks to make a cut that he couldn't make on this slick surface.
There's Teichelman, the all-conference nose guard of the Aggies. 8th play of the Notre Dame drive off the opening kickoff. Brooks is on a wing left, now in motion. Reggie Brooks behind Bettis, slips again. Twice, Brooks has slipped down.
Well, actually, it's the 3rd time. He tried to make a move to play before, and remember the first play from scrimmage, he slipped also. The one thing about Brooks is they might have to change his shoes. Take a look at this. You're not going to be able to run wide and try to make an inside cut like that. What you're going to have to do on a field like this is either run straight at him. Now, you can run a toss, but stay wide. You're going to find it very difficult to try to cut back inside.
Brooks' shoes taped up. Perhaps he'll have to change, as Paul said. Here's Gerald wide left, 3rd and 11. The action pass. Smith for a first down to the 35 of the Aggies. Written down there by Patrick Bates, but a 14-yard strike. Second catch of the day for Smith. Another Irish first down.
Well, first of all, let's explain what happens, even though they know that Notre Dame is throwing up every time so far. Now, Smith is going to get open downfield. They're playing zone. You have to play zone. Both of these teams are going to have to because of the strong running game. But the big problem is Texas A&M trying to send only 4 guys. You must send 5.
Notre Dame marching down the field. They average over 300 yards in offensive game. Here's Meyer on the option. Cutting up with a keep and getting a couple of yards. The pursuit for the Aggies getting over in a hurry. Michael Hendricks was there. Jesse Cox came up as well. Untaping the shoes and perhaps changing to a different style cleat in this slippery field.
Well, they have to change these, or take the tape off, because all that tape is doing is sliding on the field. You've got to get some traction. They're going with Becton in the backfield, now with Bettis.
Becton, the tailback, behind Jerome Bettis. Meyer with a second down pass. Again, plenty of time. And he has his receiver over on the sideline. It's complete to Ray Griggs. Griggs will be short of a first down, taken out of bounds by Aaron Glenn.
I'm just very much impressed with the amount of time that Meyer has, and that you give credit to your offensive line. When he has that much time with the gun that Meyer has, you're going to have to play a little bit tougher and a little bit shorter on the wide receivers, because he has all the time in the world, and the receivers know where they're going. They're having a terrible time, the defensive backs.
Third down. Already the Irish have converted 3 third downs on this drive. It's the 12th play. Meyer may be changing the play here. And again, straight ahead, close to the first down, is Jerome Bettis. Jesse Cox making the tackle from an inside linebacker spot for A&M, but another Notre Dame first down.
The blocking by Smith, number 84 on the outside. Now look at the block he makes. He gets a block enough. Now Bettis, all he does is just take the defensive man and drive him for the first down. Bettis gets the first down on his own.
Jerome Bettis with his first carry of the day. That's another Notre Dame first down, and here's Reggie Brooks. The shoes sans tape now. He's taking the tape off to see if that'll give him some better traction. Bettis pounds straight ahead, taking tacklers with him across the 20, down to the 18. Marcus Buckley, the All-American outside linebacker of the Aggies, holding on to finally get big Jerome Bettis, nearly 250 pounds, to the turf.
Bettis just shows you the strength. Now Buckley, number 9. Watch this. Here's the line play, first of all. But watch this. Buckley hits him right at the line of scrimmage. Now, you know how many yards Bettis gets? 6. He gets 5 of them just dragging Buckley.
Clint Johnson set wide to the left here on 2nd and 4 for the Irish. 9 minutes left in the opening quarter. Notre Dame took the ball off the opening kickoff. Here's Brooks fumbling, and it's recovered by Chatham of A&M. Keepa Chatham recovers the fumble by Reggie Brooks, and the turnover stalls the Notre Dame drive, and the Aggies will take over.
I don't know whether Brooks is hurt or not, because he got up very slowly. Now Chatham is just trailing on the play. He is not in a position to make the play. They run a toss, and Brooks just drops the ball. The direct handoffs are so important on a game like this and on a day like this. Watch it. The toss is there. Brooks never makes the catch on the ball. Chatham is there to fall on the football. It's Texas A&M's ball. Heads up defense. You know, this is really great for Texas A&M because you got a team driving on them and they stop them.
We flew at Kitty Hawk. We sailed on the first atomic-powered submarine.
Lately, by Intel, the computer inside, and by Lay's potato chips. One taste, and you'll cash in your old chips.
Notre Dame takes the opening kickoff. They run 14 plays, consume over 6 minutes, but get no points. Jerome Bettis getting his shoes retaped as A&M has the ball for the first time. Corey Pulling, the freshman quarterback, in trouble and sacked. Ryan Hamilton came through on the Irish defense. as A&M tries to go to the air, and a sack on their first play. Here's the A&M offensive starting lineup led by that freshman quarterback Corey Pullig. The Aggies offense averaging 38 points a game since he took over as the starter 5 games ago. Rodney Thomas replaces Greg Hill. Thomas rushed for over 850 yards during the season. Tied in short, the leading receiver. Up front, Dawson and Ellisor, all Southwest Conference players.
3 wides in the game.
Thomas with his first carry, and he's stacked up by this fired-up Irish defense. No gain on the play as Greg Lane came up in a hurry from a corner to make the stop. Here is that Notre Dame starting defense, which improved greatly as the season progressed. Bryant Young, the anchor of the defensive front. He and McDonald 1-2 in sacks. Despite missing the first 2 games, Demetrius Dubose finished with 12 more tackles than any other Irish player. And there's the secondary. Carter's the best cover man. He and Burris tied for the lead in interceptions. They had 5 each.
And Biggins is in for Thomas, and he will play in the H-back position.
Nickel defense on the field for the Irish. 3rd and very long. Pulling, rolling, trying to buy some time. Sends it downfield, complete. The pass is complete on the first try of the day to Brian Mitchell. Todd Carter takes Mitchell out of bounds, short of the first down, and A&M will have to punt.
Sharp, the tight end, you want to talk, he did some holding, and he's right in front of the official to give Pullig a chance to get to the outside, and no one caught it.
So Texas A&M got some of the yardage back, but David Davis will have to punt. He's the All-American candidate. You see he has already set the A&M season record. There's Miller deep for the Irish. Miller standing at about his 35. Low line drive kick. Miller takes it at the 34. Trying to get a block to the outside. Miller with a pretty nice return, ridden out of bounds at the 43-yard line. 38-yard punt, 9 yards on the return. Notre Dame's ball in a scoreless first quarter.
We drove an engine 200,000 grueling miles using Mobil 1. Then we ripped it apart. What did we find? Nothing. Nothing. Virtually no engine wear. What kept these vital engine parts like new? This part. Advanced Formula Mobil 1. It keeps your engine running like new.
They're coming out now, is it? Yeah, here they go.
And the winner is Ford Probe GT.
Here's after the Irish defense had a big first series, getting the ball back for their offense, which had a long drive, but fumbled away. Chance for points on their first possession.
First down, 10.
Meyer with a delayed handoff to Brooks. Reverses his direction and lowers his head, bounce to midfield. Brooks, who fumbled the ball away, takes it close to midfield. There's a penalty marker down.
Isn't it amazing when you take the tape off your shoes how well you can run? But again, this play was a delayed draw, and it was straight up the middle. No fancy stuff. The other things that Brooks did, he did it on his own.
5-yard penalty. Down.
5-yard face mask penalty on Texas A&M as Aaron Glenn made the tackle. R.C. Slocum's club, their vaunted defense being rocked back on their heels a bit early by Notre Dame.
Well, they did something on that first down that they didn't do on first down in the last series when Notre Dame had the ball. They blitzed some people. There's 4, and that's the thing they have to do. Against a run, a blitz is very good because it makes guys change their lanes, and every time Brooks before change lanes, he slipped.
Brooks on that wing, right, and in motion. Meyer. Now in trouble. Got away from the first tackler and out of bounds at the 40. Rick Meyer has that ability, as Lou Holtz says, to escape a one-man rush. He showed it there. Jesse Cox finally got him out of bounds.
When you look at this play, we're going to see it from the end zone, folks. Watch to the left and watch number 6, Bettis. You want to see a great block. This enables Meyer to get to the outside. Watch Bettis. Here he comes to the outside, on the knees, on the ground. That is outstanding. That's England he knocked down. It gave Meyer a little bit of time, and he ended up picking up about 4.5 yards.
2nd and 6 for the Irish. 6:41 left. First quarter, no score. Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas. Pitch to Brooks. Bettis trying to get him a block. Brooks cuts up, backs makes his way forward about a yard or two short of the first down. Lance Teichelman from the nose guard spot, hanging on to Reggie Brooks. Boy. Scoreless first quarter here for Holtz and the Irish, who have outscored their opponents by a wide margin taken on the season. So the first quarter belongs to the Irish, but the fourth quarter belongs to the Aggies of Texas A&M. They've outscored their opponents 112 to 33 in the closing period.
And the Aggies in front on the first period all year long give up less than 3 points in the first, third, and fourth period.
Bettis smothered at the line of scrimmage. Jason Atkinson makes the tackle for Texas A&M, and it's fourth down.
Atkinson makes a tackle, but the guy that makes the play is Marcus Buckley, number 9. He stuffs the play right at the line of scrimmage. And when you do that, watch number 9, Buckley. Here he comes in. He takes on a blocker. Bettis has no place to go but bounce outside. When he does that, Atkinson is there. Outstanding defense.
And Hendrick is on to punt for the Irish. Most accomplished kicker, punter, and place kicker in Notre Dame history, Derek Frazier, deep man for the Aggies. Hendrick will try to down it inside the 20 if he can. That one's sailing, and it looks like it will reach the end zone on the fly. A lot of times they'll use Rick Meyer as their pooch punter. They went to Hendrick that time, and he got the end zone on the fly for the touchback. Aggies take over at their own 20. Best run so far for the Aggies. Demetrius DuBose finally rides Rodney Thomas out of bounds.
Demetrius DuBose is the linebacker, and we know he's going to the pros. Number 31. Watch DuBose. He comes up to fill inside. The block is made. He stays with his man. Watch this. He gets back and then enters into the play. Doesn't make the initial tackle, but is still there. That's what you call determination by the defense. We saw that with Texas A&M when they were on defense. Now we're seeing it with Notre Dame.
And a good block by Dexter Wesley. DuBose had to make the tackle because Wesley had Devon McDonald, the end, tied up. Fake the reverse. Thomas keeps and loses yardage. Devon McDonald and Brian Hamilton. Well, the Irish had trouble with their footing earlier. Hannah Storm, what sort of adjustments have they made?
Well, perhaps their first indication should have been during pregame warm-ups when Lake Dawson was trying to cut back upfield and slipped. Maybe the Irish should have gotten a clue then. They have had problems with their shoes. Reggie Brooks has changed his shoe. Notre Dame came into this with a simple turf shoe. Brooks has changed into a shoe with a little bigger nub for better traction. That has kept his shoes on but took some tape off. As for the Aggies, they're wearing special rain shoes with long spikes. No problem for A&M so far, Tom.
Cliff Gross in the backfield for Texas A&M on third and long. Pulling in trouble and sacked for the second time. Devon McDonald was the man that got there first. He was quickly joined by Brian Young, and the Irish defense comes up with another big play, their second sack of Pulling on the day.
Well, this is 2 plays in a row from Devon McDonald. They tried to run Rodney Thomas before he made the play. Now watch him here. McDonald comes in, number 45, gets away from the block and makes the play.
Devon McDonald, whose twin brother Ricardo just completed his rookie year with the Cincinnati Bengals. Davis gets a great roll on the punt. It wasn't a thing of beauty, but it'll wind up being a very effective punt as it rolls dead at the 32-yard line and covered 55 yards. We're still scoreless in the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic.
You're about to see an amazing detergent at work. Just look for the big red O. Drive in, fill up with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus, and it starts working. Unclogging fuel injectors, cleaning intake valves as you drive, giving your car performance that's trouble-free. So drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Nicoderm, nicotine transdermal system by prescription only.
I'd heard about the Nicoderm patch, but when it comes to something like that, I only go to one place for advice.
Nicoderm. Ask your doctor about it.
After all, who knows better?
I was born in a small town. That's where my customers are.
Who would know better how to welcome business travelers to small towns and big towns than Holiday Inn?
It's just like the town I was born in.
Holiday Inn. Stay with someone you know who really knows you.
Guys, you're not gonna believe this. To hear Mike was named a GTE Academic All-American. Everything comes easy to that guy. I'll bet he doesn't even have to study to get good grades. And he spends half his time at the pizza place.
The GTE Academic All-America team was created to honor outstanding student athletes like Mike, because we know not everyone gives them the recognition they deserve.
What do you want here?
I want a job.
You got me all misty-eyed.
In the tradition of Rain Man, Scent of a Woman is a smart, funny ride. Nominated for 4 Golden Globe Awards. Best Actor, Al Pacino.
Women are the essence of life.
Chris O'Donnell, Best Supporting Actor.
Boy, you have a one-track mind.
Best Screenplay.
Hoo-ah!
And Best Picture.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Scent of a Woman, rated R. Now in select areas. Sneak preview tomorrow night.
New Year's Day bowl game excitement continues with a matchup of 2 top 10 teams as 6th-ranked Colorado battles Country Ismail and number 9 Syracuse in the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl. Then tonight, 2 of the nation's highest-scoring teams meet as 4th-ranked Florida State takes on Big 8 champion Nebraska in the Federal Express Orange Bowl today on NBC.
What does a free safety do when they're on a break in a commercial? Watch this. Patrick Bates, number 29. You'll see his head come into the picture. See it right there on the screen? Myers says, will you get out of here? We're trying to put a play in. Then Bates walks around, and then he goes up to the official like, what are these guys talking about over here?
He doesn't understand Irish. Notre Dame, they have the ball on their own 32. This is Warner's first quarter. Myers hit 3 of 4. That one batted down. Teichelman got in to knock it away. Lance Teichelman, 6'4", 259, a junior from Austin, Texas. First team All-Southwest Conference.
You see what happens when they blitz now? This is a first down blitz, and watch Teichelman. Now he's split out. He's not the nose tackle. He comes across, penetration. Bettis comes out to hit him, but he just gets up in the air, reads Meyer perfectly, and knocks the ball down. That's excellent defense. They've got to blitz Notre Dame. And I'm not talking about once in a series. I'm talking about at least 2 out of 3 downs.
Notre Dame with 72 total yards, -2 for the Aggies, but still nothing. Meyer rifles one almost intercepted through the hands of Jason Atkinson. He could have picked it off and rambled into the end zone, but he could not hold on. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up for the Irish.
Lance Teichelman again is putting some heat on. He beat the offensive lineman. He beat Ruddy, the center. You'll see Teichelman just get through. He comes to the inside, and then when they throw the ball, look at this zone defense. They're all set up, and you got Meyer trying to throw into 4 guys. You can't get that ball there. Your arm isn't that strong.
Wow, Atkinson nearly had it. He would have had a touchdown. Instead, it's 3rd and 10 Irish. Clock shows 2:48 left in the first quarter, and A&M with a mix-up on their defensive alignment calls a timeout. So Texas A&M with its first timeout of the game. It comes with 2:48 left in the first quarter. Gives Rick Meyer a chance to visit again with Lou Holtz. Well, the Irish with a tribute to Moose Krause. They're playing today with the name Moose on their helmets, where normally it says Irish. You see that right above the helmet, right above the face mask? It says Moose in honor of Ed Moose Krause, a Fighting Irish linebacker from 1931 to 33, an All-American, both basketball and football. One of the greatest all-around athletes of his era. The Newt Rockne era at Notre Dame, and then Krause serving as athletic director from 1948 to 1980 at Notre Dame, credited with ending Notre Dame's 45-year absence from postseason play when he brought him to the Cotton Bowl in 1970. And Lou Holtz was telling us a couple of days ago that 2 days before Moose died, he came into Lou Holtz's office with his Cotton Bowl hat on and said, "We're going back to Dallas."
If I'm not mistaken, I saw a tear in Lou Holtz's eyes because he was very fond of Moose. You know, Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator of Texas A&M, told us yesterday, he said, this will be a low-scoring football game. And so far, nothing, he's right.
Well, he knew what kind of defense the Aggies had. Notre Dame has converted 3 of 3 on 3rd and long. This is their 4th attempt of this first quarter. Meyer forced to scramble. Now sends it downfield, and it will be knocked away, almost intercepted by Aaron Glenn. Glenn, as we told you earlier, set a Southwest Conference record, breaking up 20 passes this season. He broke that one up as Meyer tried to force it.
All right, Meyer, he gets some help, and he really does get some good blocking. Bettis gets an excellent block on Buckley. Look at Bettis right here. He stays with Buckley and brings him down. Now, Meyer comes out. He's by himself. He's scrambling. He can feel the heat coming, and then at the end, he takes a little shove, looking to see, did I complete it? No, you didn't.
Sam Adams, the man that gave him that little love tap just to let him know he was in the area. And Hendrick will punt to Frazier. Hendrick's punt sails. Taken by Frazier on a fair catch. At about the 32-yard line, 36-yard punt. Now let's go to Jim Lampley in New York. Jim?
All right, Tom, let's take a moment to get up to date on the still developing Larry Smith story at the University of Southern California. The Long Beach Press-Telegram reported this morning that Smith has been fired. A little while ago, I spoke to USC Athletic Director Mike McGee, who categorically denied that Smith has been fired, but acknowledged that he'll be meeting with the coach today to discuss his future. If you were speculating, based on the details available to us, you would speculate that Smith is going to resign as head coach today. We'll have full details by about 5 o'clock Eastern Time this afternoon. Tom Hammond?
All right, Jim. Here's a familiar sight for Aggie fans thus far as Rodney Thomas dragged down for a loss on the play. This time, Jeff Burris comes from his strong safety spot to do the honors. And Paul, the Aggie running a game without Greg Hill, has sputtered so far.
Well, when you look at this play, look at where they're trying to get Rodney Thomas to run. Outside. Now, you've got to get him inside. When he runs out, he runs into the teeth of the defense. Burris, Jeff Burris, number 9, makes the play. He's on the outside. If you're going to run Thomas on this field, the way it is, run him inside the tackle.
Pulling to pass. And it is complete. He delivered it on the money to Tony Harrison. It was a low pass, but Harrison went down to make the reception. It'll be about a yard short of a first down, it appears.
Now look at what Pulig's doing now. He's rolling out. He's getting away from the pass rush. There really wasn't much that time. And then here's the pass on the ground. Now the question is, did Harrison have his hands underneath the ball? From that angle, we can't tell. But right to his left was an official. He had a perfect view of the ball. He gave him the catch. I was really impressed with this kid. This Corey Pulig, what a sensation. Young man just turned 19.
Freshman out of Deer Park. It's 3rd and 1. And Carter, the fullback, with his first carry, picks up the initial first down of the game for Texas A&M.
What Carter great yesterday. We're talking to Carter, and he said to us, hey, I don't get the ball, but that's my job. My job is to block. I don't get it very often, but look at this, folks, what he does when he does get it. He hits the hole. He's tackled by DeBose there. Makes the spin and picks up the first down. That is determination. Continuous action.
There's Doug Carter, the little brother of Michael Carter, who won the silver medal in the shot put at the '84 Olympics. He's from the San Francisco 49ers. Pitch to the tailback, Thomas. Nice run by Rodney Thomas. He has another Aggie first down to the 40-yard line of Notre Dame.
Inside the tackle. He's inside the tackles, and that's where you want to run Rodney Thomas. Don't stretch him out to the outside. Get him upfield where he runs very well. He's an outstanding runner. Watch the move that he makes back to the inside. Bang, this is inside the tackles. He comes back inside and picks up the first down. Outstanding running.
Burris and McDonald finally get him down after a gain of 15. Rodney Thomas now starting to become effective in the running game for the Aggies. They're on the move at the 40 of the Irish. Pulig has a man wide open. Again, it's Harrison. Second consecutive catch on this drive by Harrison. Gain of 9, forced out by Burris.
See, what happens when you have a running team, you play zone. Now look at the zone on the top side. Look what happens. Harrison gets out to the outside. Burris, number 9, never gets out where he belongs. He does not. He has help deep. He is supposed to cover the short zone from the hash mark out to the outside. When he sees Harrison set up, he's got now to fly. He can't look at the quarterback. He's got to run directly at the receiver.
Freshman Pulig has been sacked twice, but when given time, he's delivered 3 for 3.
What I like about him, he does not throw the ball up for grabs either. I mean, he's poised up. He'll take the sack.
Late to Thomas. Pulig overshoots Carter, who was wide open. There's the freshman reminding himself. R.C. Slocum saying he knew from the outset that Pulig would be a factor. Jeff Granger was the starting quarterback to open the season for A&M, but Pulig got his chance in some early games, and when Granger suffered a concussion, Pulig got the starting nod and has been in the lineup ever since. Very precocious 19-year-old from Deer Park, Texas.
Pulig that time really had to throw the ball up over McGill. He really didn't have a direct shot at Carter when he was throwing the football.
The irony of the situation is that Pulig was heavily recruited by Notre Dame and verbally committed to the Irish before changing his mind. Thomas. Stop for a loss. Penetration by the Notre Dame defense led by Pete Bursage and Brian Hamilton.
I mean, that's what I'm telling you. Don't try to get him wide. Get him between the tackles. That's where he's more effective.
Into the first quarter at the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic. Notre Dame and Texas A&M in a scoreless tie.
We drove an engine 200,000 grueling miles using Mobile One. Then we ripped it apart. What did we find? Nothing. Nothing. Virtually no engine wear. What kept these vital engine parts like new? This part. Advanced Formula Mobile One. It keeps your engine running like new.
When you rent a car from Hertz, you get more than free unlimited mileage. You get the company behind the car, so that the miles aren't just free, they're worry-free. And since Hertz can give you rates this low, there's no better way to get up and go. Now, with all those free miles ahead of you, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
At BASF, we don't make the sneakers, we make them bouncier. We don't make the car, we make it more colorful. We don't make the leather, we make it jazzier. We don't make the helmet, we make it more comfortable. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Start saving $300 a month when you're 23, and you could retire a millionaire. Start at 30, and you might reach 600,000. At 40, about 200,000.
Point conversion. Meyer. Yes! Brooks!
November 1992. Another memorable moment from NBC Sports.
Indeed, it was a memorable moment as the Irish come from behind to nip Penn State, the most dramatic conclusion to a college game I've ever been a part of. And interesting talking to some of the Irish players, in particular, Rick Meyer and Demetrius DeBose, saying it was the most memorable moment of their entire career at Notre Dame.
And every single guy you asked that question to yesterday, Tom, or 2 days ago, Tom said this. The first thing out of their mouth, Penn State. Penn State.
A&M to punt on 4th down. Davis trying to down it inside. The Irish 5 can't do it. It bounces at about the 1 and into the end zone. It'll be a 37-yard punt. But the best offensive showing for the Aggies so far behind their freshman quarterback Corey Pulig. And Hannah Storm is with Pulig's parents.
I sure am, Jim and Linda Pulig. And now Corey decided to go to Notre Dame, made a verbal commitment. Why did he change his mind and attend A&M?
Well, he just decided that he liked the hometown atmosphere of A&M, and he just liked it a lot better.
Close to our home.
Right. And it was, well, he certainly appears calm and cool in a big game.
That's Corey. He's always been like that. Nothing new.
He said growing up as the youngest of 4 brothers helped him never to get rattled. Tom?
All right, Hannah. Everyone marveling, players and coaches, at the freshman's coolness under fire. Right now, though, he's watching the Aggie defense as Bates and Atkinson combined to stop Reggie Brooks on that first down carry, which netted 6 yards.
One interesting thing about Texas A&M, looking how Brooks loses his shoe because it wasn't taped on. He say, I need the tape back, but if you put the tape back, you're going to slip and fall down. So I think they'll take time out and let him get a shoe back. But
so Brooks getting that shoe readjusted, replaced by Lee Becton at tailback. Brooks has carried 9 times for 26 yards. Here's Becton. Hampton trying to pound ahead for the first down. Apparently has it across the 30-yard line.
See, Brooks will come back in the ballgame. One of the things that happens, and you say, what is the big deal about the tape? Well, what the tape does, it gets slick. And when you take, he wants his shoes on, he feels more comfortable with them taped to his foot, okay? But when you take the tape off, now he's going to lose his shoe. That's okay. But with the tape on, every time he made a cut, 3 times he went down, and for lost yardage, you can't afford that. So it's easy to tie your shoe every time it comes off than it is to slip and fall all the time.
When Jerome Bettis was being recruited by Lou Holtz, he asked Coach Holtz if he could tape his shoes, and Holtz said he didn't allow it. There's Meyer keeping and taking it to the 35-yard line. So Holtz promised Bettis that he could tape his shoes. He'd be the only one if he would come to Notre Dame. Well, earlier this season, before the BYU game, Holtz got into this taping shoes thing, and he said, why do you guys like to tape your shoes? Somebody said, oh, it prevents injury or so on, and Holtz wasn't buying that. Finally, Bettis said, it makes me feel good, and when I feel good, I play good. So Holtz said, all right, that makes sense. Everybody can now tape their shoes.
All right, Brooks is back, not taped.
Looked like he wanted to run the option. It never got going before he was grabbed by Eric England.
I mean, Eric England, it just looked like nobody even touched him. England was there. He came into the meeting yesterday and said, I want an NBC hat when I go on television. Look at England. He just goes right by Knapp and makes the play. No one touched England.
Eric England, junior from Sugar Land, Texas. First team All-Southwest Conference. Has also played some nose guard. Former high school All-American from Sugar Land.
Here's where you really have to blitz Notre Dame. And they're coming. They're coming.
Meyer got rid of it. That'll be trapped by Smith. Incomplete as Jesse Cox was bearing down on Rick Meyer. There's Cox, number 48. Who nearly got the sack.
And I'm telling you, Tommy, the best way to defeat even a rushing offense, passing offense, is with the blitz, and they just send a whole lot of people, and Cox's number 48 is there to make the play. Meyer trying to throw the ball under pressure. Almost got it to Irv Smith.
Meyer now has had 4 incompletions in a row, and Hendrick will punt for the 3rd time. Frazier awaiting it on his 25. The game so far. The Irish had a good drive off the opening kickoff, but fumbled it away. Beautiful kick by Hendrick. Frazier taken down in his tracks. Nice punt, good coverage. 43 yards with no return.
Now let me just say this, Rodney Thomas has carried the ball 6 times. 4 of them have been for losses. He has 6 yards rushing.
We'll take a break in a scoreless game. Aggies in possession of the football for the 4th time in the game. Picking his way forward for about 8 yards. Dragged down finally by Demetrius DuBose. Dexter Wesley with another good block to Spring Thomas.
A little delay, but again, I'm not going to belabor this point, but watch where the ball is run. It's run inside the tackles. Get Thomas going straight ahead. This is where he's most effective. And then he makes his moves. DuBose ends up grabbing him by the shirt, but they pick up almost 10 yards on the play. You know, when you were talking about pulling, and Hannah was talking to his parents why he went to Texas A&M. 90 of the 91 players on the Texas A&M team are from Texas. But I think the most unique thing about it, all but 4 of them are within 300 miles of College Station. I guess that saves on long-distance calls. I don't know.
RC says, why should I go traipsing all around the country trying to recruit somebody when there are enough good players right here?
Well, he says Notre Dame has 9 from Texas. UCLA, Southern Cal, all these teams have players from Texas. So I might as well just go ahead and stay here. And I guess he's right, 12-0. That's not too bad.
Pulling is hit 3 of 4. All-American career, passed for 1,800 yards and 21 touchdowns as a senior. One game he had 6 touchdown passes. 2nd and 1. Fullback Carter trying to pick up the yard needed. Actually, if you saw the measurement, less than a yard, just inches needed, and he got it. Anthony Peterson on the tackle.
Thomas wasn't a bad high school player, was he?
A legendary high school career. He's from the little town of Groveton, Texas. Just 2,700 people all tuned in today. He broke Emmitt Smith's record for rushing yardage, 8,400 yards, to rank number 2 all-time in United States prep history. The number 1 all-time rusher in high school was another A&M player, Kenneth Hall, the Sugar Land Express, who played in the John David Crow era with the Aggies. 8,400 yards for this man, Rodney Thomas, in high school. Get a little taste of how he did that. Carter gave him a good block, and Thomas made something out of it. He scored 111 touchdowns in his high school career.
And little Burroughs, number 9, Jeff Burroughs, he gave a little taste of Irish defense when he got downfield. I mean, Burroughs came up and put a lick on him, but Thomas is a bruising runner. Watch this hit by number 9, Burroughs, when he comes in. Right there, bam! I mean, that's a hit. But Thomas still got another yard.
He did. Thomas was telling us there's not much to do in Groveton, so the town revolves around high school sports, and he's one of the great heroes of that tiny Texas town. Carter stopped a yard short of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Aggies.
Anthony Peterson, the linebacker, he's just keying the fullback, short yardage. It just looks like Carter's not even getting a chance to get a start.
There's Peterson from Monongahela, Pennsylvania. He went to Ringgold High School, the same high school as Joe Montana. Anthony Peterson of the Irish, as R.C. Slocum tries to mount some offense here. It's been a defensive struggle with 10:20 left in the first half of the Cotton Bowl.
Well, they've got Notre Dame all bunched up inside. You've got 8 players inside the box. It's the time to throw.
It'll be a handoff to Thomas, though, with a head of steam. He has the first down to midfield.
You know, they said he runs like him. He looks like him. He's got the attitude of him. Roger Craig was formerly with the San Francisco 49ers and now with the Minnesota Vikings. This young man does run like him. He makes you think of Roger Craig, and that's not a bad likeness, is it?
He has that high knee action, does Rodney Thomas. And when Hill was playing, it was a potent 1-2 punch for the Aggies. One of the reasons they've dominated the 4th quarter is that they have Hill pounding away all day and then come in with a fresh player like Rodney Thomas. Hill gained 1,300 yards, Thomas 850. You see what a potent running combination it was. Thomas going it alone in this game, Hill under suspension. Thomas with another carry, working his way inside and getting good yardage into Irish territory to the 44-yard line. Oliver Gibson finally makes the tackle, but Thomas now has it going.
All right, here's the reason I'm talking about Rodney Thomas going up the middle. He's effective because he really only has to beat 2 people. And look at the offensive line. It really helps him in the blocking. A little bit of holding, but it helps him in the blocking. Once he hits that crack, then all he really has to do is beat 1 guy and he's into the secondary. So when you take him wide, now you're letting the pursuit get to him. He's too quick to, and it may sound ridiculous, but he's too quick to go wide like that because he gets everything, all these people get out there, and he can't make that cut on the slippery field. So run him up the middle where he's really fast.
10 carries, 33 yards. This is the 11th time he's had the football, and he's taken down back to midfield. A loss of 5 on the play. Penetration that time by the Irish defense. Devon McDonald and Jim Flanagan got through to stop Thomas for a loss.
Yeah, but Carter, when you do that, you go up forward, you have to block. Carter doesn't block anybody here, and then McDonald and Flanagan are both there. You see right at the beginning, you saw Carter, number 32, go right by. Did not pick up any one of the 2 players, and they made this tackle. Now they have to throw.
They've only rushed so far. This is the 8th play of the drive. The first 7 have been runs. Cliff Gross is in the game now, split backs, and they expect him to pass. Slipping a tackler is Pullig. He's got some room to run. Corey Pullig has an Aggie first down.
Do you remember what Lou Holtz told us about this young man when he was recruiting? We said, what are the reasons why you want him? He says that one of the most important things that he can avoid the one-man rush. Watch this. He avoids the one-man rush. And when he does that, that's Covington, he gets to the outside and picks up the first down. That is exactly what Lou Holtz was telling us. That's the reason he wanted him, because he sees that rusher, can get away from him, then he picks up the first down. Excellent.
Holtz always looks for that in the quarterback. I like what Pullig said when you asked him how fast he was. He said, fast enough. Reverse and a pass on the flea flicker. Brian Mitchell Now has to run with it. And he has a first down at the 26-yard line of the Irish. A 13-yard gain. Mitchell pulled it down and got it first.
What a heads-up play by Mitchell. We got an injured Notre Damer down on the field.
It's Greg Lane, Irish quarterback.
But I'm going to tell you, Brian Mitchell, I want you guys to freeze this for a second. Watch what he does. Right here, hold it right here. And when he looks downfield, he is looking at Harrison, number 3. He is covered. So what does he do? Look at the middle. Let's go. And he picks up the first down. What an excellent run by Brian Mitchell.
Mitchell, the sophomore, playing before his hometown, folks. He's from Dallas. Broke his foot against Stanford in the opening game of the season for the Aggies. Missed 3 contests, but he's had 10 receptions the last 4 games coming into this one, including 3 against the Longhorns of Texas. Scoreless first half, 7:53 remaining in the second quarter and ticking. This is the 10th play of the Texas A&M drive. They've all been runs, including that last scramble. Thomas stopped at the line of scrimmage, slammed down hard to the turf, and a good play made by Jim Flanagan from the nose tackle spot of the Irish 5-man front.
Jim Flanagan was not blocked. I mean, they tried to block him. They couldn't block him, and Flanagan met Rodney Thomas head on.
Flanagan from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. His dad, Jim, played for the Pitt Panthers and then spent 4 years as a linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. Flanagan said the time he was born, his dad had finished playing. He didn't remember much about his dad's pro career, but he still lived in Wisconsin. Play action pass. Pulig almost intercepted by Burris. Tony Harrison was the intended receiver, but it bounced off the pads of Burris.
Well, actually, Burris really never saw it. He had his back to the quarterback, and then Harrison comes up to make the play. Watch this. Here's Burris. He really has his back. He turns just at the last second, gets his hand on the ball. Harrison is going for it. Just an excellent play by Burris, but Pulig takes a shot. Watch this. He just gets hammered when he throws the football. Just no chance. That's Hamilton, number 90, that nails him, but Pulig will stand in there.
Hamilton had a preseason knee injury, but he's really come on for the Irish defense. 6 minutes, the Aggies have had the ball. This is the 12th play of their drive. It's 3rd and 10. And Pulig misconnects again. A pass intended for Carter. And it'll bring up 4th down. And Venetoulias will come on to attempt a field goal. It'll be about a 44-yard attempt for Venetoulias. His longest of the season has been 47. First team All-Southwest Conference. He has 2 game-winning field goals this year against Stanford and Texas Tech. He's 16 of 23 overall. It's up. And it just fell short. So like Notre Dame, the Aggies have a long drive that comes up empty.
David Davis did a nice job of getting that ball off the ground because the snap was low. It hits the ground, and watch this kick. I mean, everybody just screaming and screaming. It just doesn't get there. It was down the middle.
Still no score in the game. 6:41 left in the first half.
You're about to see an amazing detergent at work. Just look for the big red O. Drive in, fill up with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, and it starts working. Unclogging fuel injectors, cleaning intake valves as you drive, giving your car performance that's trouble-free. So drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Outlaw, lover, hero. Van Damme, as you've never seen him before. Nowhere to Run, rated R. At theaters January 15th.
0-0, 6:41 left. Second quarter of the Mobil Cotton Bowl Classic. Fred Myers missed his last 4 passes.
Notre Dame averages 37.5 points per game.
Reggie Brooks off off the block by Bettis. And Brooks with a gain of 11. Knocked out of bounds after an Irish first down. Michael Hendricks chased him out, but Bettis had a block to spring his teammate Brooks.
Well, when you look at this, and I hope we can stop this for a second, look to the right of the screen. You see number 6, Bettis? There's the block he makes. But when Brooks, watch what Brooks does. He puts his hand on Bettis, and then he pushes him aside and goes back to the outside. Hendricks he's waiting for some help, and he hopes he gets Brooks to the sideline. But what an outstanding block.
There's that hand to push Bettis, as you mentioned, and bounce to the outside for a Notre Dame first down. Brooks again. No, this time it's Bettis lined up as the tailback. And Jason Atkinson trips him up. That time, Bettis lined up in the tailback spot. He's done that from time to time this season. In fact, won a whole game as tailback for the Irish when Brooks was injured. Jerome Bettis will reassess his college career in a few days. Here are his career totals at Notre Dame. He's a junior, but may decide to forego his final season of eligibility. He'll meet with his parents and Coach Holtz to make the decision in a few days. Ray Zellers is now the fullback, and Bettis, the tailback, gets the handoff. Only a couple of yards for Jerome Bettis. Sam Adams and Jason Atkinson didn't let him get loose.
I like the defense at Texas A&M. They're putting up against Notre Dame. They're just bunching 8 people up into the line of scrimmage, and they're taking holes. Now there's Bob Davis. He's the defensive coordinator for Texas A&M, Youngstown State, my hometown. That's where he went to college, may I say. And he's done a terrific job with this team. 12-0, I guess he has.
Been mentioned in some head coaching speculation from time to time.
Here comes the blitz again.
Meyer flips it complete to Smith for a first down. Third catch of the game for Irv Smith, and he keeps the Irish drive going.
Texas A&M had Marcus Buckley coming from the outside, but once they picked up Buckley, there was nobody outside. You see Buckley getting blocked right there. When he's blocked, Meyer has all the time in the world to find Irv Smith. Look at this throw and catch. Outstanding.
There are a couple of guys that will be pitching and catching in the NFL a year from now, both likely first-round draft choices, Meyer and Smith.
May not be with the same team, though. Yeah.
Bettis will throw a pass. Wobbly to Dawson. He dropped it.
The pitch out was to
Jerome Bettis has his mother.
Gladys, you got a big decision to make, the Bettis family coming up, whether or not Jerome will forego his final year of eligibility and enter the draft. Which way are you guys leaning?
It's a toughie. He loves the school so much. It's just hard to say. Seriously, whatever he decides, that's where we're going.
When are you guys going to make the decision?
We're going to sit down. We're going to have this discussion as soon as we get back Saturday evening.
He's had some ankle problems. Is the threat of an injury going to come into consideration?
It's healing. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. He's not having any problem with that ankle.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's get back to watching.
Brooks on the carry, stopped by England. One thing's for sure, if he does decide to come out, he should stick to running instead of passing, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That pass wasn't very good. You talk about Eric England, watch number 92. Well, this is the pass play. I'm sorry, Bettis. Look at this pass. Don't give up the running back area. But the pass, well, let me tell you something. The pass was there. Dawson should have caught the ball. Here it is. He's trying to get set. Great. That's a bad stance, Jerome. Jerome, you got to like lean forward, not lean back.
Notre Dame now with a 3rd and 8. They've converted 4 of 6 on 3rd and long so far in the game. Bettis and Brooks in the backfield.
Here they come again.
Blitz coming from A&M. Myers in trouble and taken down. Eric England with the Aggies' 2nd sack of the day.
They just did not block England, number 92, and he is in the middle of the field. They didn't make their adjustments along the offensive line. The blitz came. Bob Davie just gave England a hug. Look at this. Here's England, number 92. Nobody, and I mean nobody, touches him. The center's the 2 guards you're supposed to seal inside to outside.
He came right between center Ruddy and guard Aaron Taylor for the easy sack. And Hendrick will punt. Nice punt, hangs it high. Frazier Fields it at the 16 and got across the 20 to the 23-yard line. 37-yard punt. The return 7. We're still scoreless in Big D. And the unbeaten and third-ranked A&M Aggies scoreless. 3:08 left in the first half. A rare pass on first down by A&M, and it's complete. Gross makes the reception. Short gain on the play, about 5 yards to the 25. Carmelia McGill makes the tackle for Notre Dame.
How right you are. A rare pass on first down 10 times. Texas A&M 1 pass, 9 rushes. And I talked at the beginning of the show about Texas A&M. If they want to win this ball game, they're going to win it by passing the football. 7 attempts, 4 completions. I think the team that can pass the best today is going to win this ball game. You're not going to line up against either one of these teams and run it at them and drill them. That's Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator for Texas A&M.
Gain of only 2 on that pass completion to Gross, so it's 2nd and long. Thomas trying to use his blockers, spun down after a gain of 2 or 3 yards. Devon McDonald was the man right in the center of things for the Irish. He's having a big game.
He's having a real big game. Number 45. Watch this. He just takes on the block, and when he takes up Wesley on the block, it gets away from him, makes the tackle. That's outstanding. That's only a 2-yard gain. We're getting inside of 2 minutes.
1:57 and counting, to be exact. John Covington's on the field for the Irish as they go to their nickel defense package on 3rd and 5. 5 or 6. Pulling behind his intended receiver. In fact, Carter made a run at it to try to intercept. Tony Harrison was the intended receiver. He never had a chance at it.
He didn't have a chance. Carter was beaten to the outside, and Pulling just never got the ball out to the outside to Harrison because Harrison was open. But it's cold, and they're wet, and the ball is slippery. Things happen.
Not much has happened, actually. Nothing.
Defense. If you like defense, you're seeing a great football game.
Here's another punt. The punters have been the stars of the show so far. Davis has this one wobbling its way downfield. Takes a good bounce. Miller will just let it bounce. It'll go out of bounds around the 35-yard line of Notre Dame. A 37-yard punt. We'll take another break. Teams trying to get some offense going in the final couple of minutes. First half in Cotton Bowl history, 1983, Pitt and SMU. There's Devon McDonald. Look on his wrist. Most teams have quarterbacks with offensive plays on their wrist, but under Rick Mentor, the defensive coordinator of the Irish, they have defensive calls on a wristband. The call comes in from the sideline. They consult their wrist, and there they have the defensive call.
And that young man's been calling his own name all day long because he's had some great plays in this ball game.
There's Mentor, the defensive chief of the Irish. Right now, the Irish have the football. Trying to get some points on the board. Play action. Meyer. Short completion. Gain of 4 to the 40.
Oh, he had Irv Smith wide open to tight end because the linebacker fell down. Jason Atkinson fell down, and Smith was wide open on the outside. And they're trying to cover Smith with a linebacker.
All timeouts left for the Irish. Out pattern is complete for an Irish first down to Lake Dawson.
Lake Dawson is there, but it gives you an idea of the strength of Rick Meyer's arm, because on that play, Derek Frazier, the defensive back, was in line with the ball. He gets it over him to Lake Dawson. An outstanding throw.
Meyer picked up his degree a few days ago from Notre Dame. He's graduated. He's going to take things easy this spring and pay a lot of attention to, of course, the NFL draft. Trying to get the Irish some points here in the final minute of the first half. Running play to Brooks. And Brooks is to the 40-yard line. Finally chased down by Bates and Frazier after a 13-yard gain on a trap play to Reggie Brooks.
Tykelman had to tackle in the backfield and just does not. Lou Holtz wants a timeout. You just made a running play that took off about 8 or 10 seconds off the clock. You have 3 timeouts. After a running play, take a timeout. But they were moving the chain, so the clock was stopped. They didn't lose any more time.
So the 2-minute offense of the Irish has been productive so far. They have a first down at the 40-yard line with 57 seconds left. This, of course, is the first of 3 bowl games coming your way on NBC today. Up after we're finished in Dallas, we'll go to Arizona for the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl as the 6th-ranked Buffaloes of Colorado take on the 9th-rated Syracuse Orangemen. The IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl coming up next here on NBC. Entire offensive unit huddled around Coach Lou Holtz. This is the 6th possession of the game for the Irish. They had a long drive off the opening kickoff before Brooks fumbled it away. The next 4 times they've had the football, they've had to punt. Hendrick is the field goal kicker, number 28. He's hit 10 of 13 this season. He's hit his last 8 field goal attempts in a row. He could be called on here in the final seconds. R.C. Slocum's defense has been as advertised here in the first half.
Well, the only quarter that they give up more than 3 points is the second quarter.
Blitz coming from the Aggies. Meyer pumps once and goes down the sideline and incomplete. Intended to Ray Briggs. It was out of bounds anyway. The pass incomplete. Aaron Glenn was with him step for step.
You know, when you look at this pass and you see where the ball is thrown, this is a smart throw because the defensive man doesn't have a chance. What he's trying to do is get the ball to Griggs as close to the sideline marker as possible. Griggs slips. The ball is out of bounds. But if Griggs can take 2 more steps forward, he might have had a chance to leap on a dry field. But that ball was put in a perfect spot. They also only lost 6 seconds off the clock. And Notre Dame still has 2 timeouts, so they can still run the ball here.
Dawson, the leading receiver for the Irish, set wide to the bottom of your screen. Meyer intended for Bettis on a screen pass. And that was ugly from the start. Bettis was tripped up.
Sam Adams was there. He thought he got tripped up, but the official was right on top of it and said no. The screen was set up beautifully, but Sam Adams was right there, read it, stayed with Bettis. Left of the screen, number 95. Look at Adams. He just sees Bettis. He's on Bettis, one-on-one right there. There's just no place for Bettis to go. Bettis just trips off his feet. Adams really never touched him with his hand. Watch Adams's feet. Watch where the feet click right here. You see that? He does not touch Bettis.
Adrian Gerald brings the play from the sideline for the Irish. He's in the slot on the right. Pressure, Meyer to Dawson. Dawson through the middle of the field. Lake Dawson, touchdown.
Score in this game. You're not going to do it on the ground. And what a great play to Lake Dawson. And they had Texas A&M in a blitz, so they had everybody up towards the quarterback, and they ran that little delay along the line of scrimmage. When Lake Dawson caught the ball, then he had his blockers, which are linemen, in front of him.
Hendrick for the extra point. Penalty marker down. The kick was good. Well, the Irish running game held in check. On the 2-minute offense, they go to the pass, and Dawson scores from 40 yards out. Offside against Texas A&M. They'll assess that on the kickoff. There's Dawson, who scored only his 2nd touchdown of the season.
All right, this thing is really set up beautifully because the rush is on. They're running a blitz at Meyer, and watch what happens. You see Buckley is there, but when Dawson comes down the line of scrimmage, what he runs into is his offensive lineman. Once he hits the middle of the field, there's nobody there. Look at linemen. They're just out in front of him. Ruddy is there. Taylor is there. When Lake Dawson comes down, watch where he is and watch where he catches the ball. He slips first. He's right on the line of scrimmage. Then there's the blocking. It's outstanding. He picks up his offensive line, and this is easy from here on out. Look at the offensive line. They're just jogging on in.
You see, he almost dropped the football before he got to the goal line as he raised his hand to celebrate. He was able to get it back, and the Irish get on the scoreboard with 36 seconds left in the first half. Kickoff reaches the end zone, and it's taken out of there. So the Aggies eschew the touchback. And Billy Mitchell brings it out to about the 24-yard line, where Reggie Brooks on special teams makes the tackle. So Pullig with some final advice from R.C. Slocum. What do you think they'll call a safe pass? You said they wouldn't do anything foolish.
I don't think anything foolish. I mean, because they're only 31 seconds. They're at the 24-yard line, and they have, granted, they do have 2 timeouts, but they do get the ball at the beginning of the second half, and it'll be kind of difficult if they made a mistake down here, give the ball to Notre Dame, go down by 14. That's tough coming back against that defense of the Irish.
Notre Dame scoring the only points in the game here in the closing minute and a half. Go to the run. That's the safe play. Rodney Thomas gets a few yards, and the clock will tick away. Jim Flanagan made the tackle for the Irish. We've been talking about the A&M defense. Of course, the Irish defense has played a very effective first half.
The Irish won't call timeout. They're just going to go in at halftime down 7, and they get the ball Texas A&M second half.
And that will bring the first half to a close. Notre Dame marches down the field in the final minute to score the only points of the game. Lou Holtz and the Irish leading Texas A&M 7-0. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Defense, you managed to shut down the run. However, you gave up the big passing.
Played the first half, the little screen play there at the end. We missed a tackle on it. We had it for no gain, looked like, and we missed a tackle. Really disappointing, but I feel good about the way we're playing. We've got to make some plays on offense, and it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
What about your offense, Coach? How are you going to put some points on the board against this team?
Well, we're playing against a good defensive team. We've had problems. They've had the same problems. When you play big ball games, defenses usually control the games. We'll go in here and adjust at halftime. This is where we've been all year, so it's nothing new.
Thanks a lot, Coach. The Aggies have come from behind to win in the second half 6 times this year.
All right, so R.C. Slocum will try to rally his troops to come from behind once again. And we are at halftime. Notre Dame leading 7-0. Gives us a chance to take a look at the fighting. He went to the pass almost exclusively, had one run, resulted in the only points of the game.
Yeah, and I think what happens with Texas A&M now when they come out the second half, Corey Pullig is going to have to throw the ball, but most importantly, they've got to give him some time to throw the ball. He's got a very good arm. I mean, he's not going to throw the ball 90 yards, but he's got a good arm and throw some short passes. And I think if Texas A&M wants to get back into this game and win this ball game, they're going to have to put it up in the air.
All right, let's take a look at some of the first half stats. And as we said, the running game's held in check. First downs in favor of the Irish. Rushing yards 75 to 44. Look at the disparity in passing yards. The Irish had 93 to 36 for Texas A&M. Overall yardage edge to the Irish, but no great offensive fireworks in that first half, of course. The one turnover was after a long Notre Dame drive after the opening kickoff. Reggie Brooks fumbled, but it was no points for the A&M Aggies off that fumble. So the teams have played pretty even except for that last touchdown just in the final minute. Paul, take us through that pass to Dawson again.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at a couple things. First of all, here's Dawson here. Here's the guy you got to look at. It's Hall here, and this guy is Sam Adams. And watch, here's the line of scrimmage, if I can get this along this line. Watch where the blocking is here. Is it an illegal block when the ball is in the air? I don't think so. I think it's too close to tell. Here we go. But watch those 3 people. Dawson is first of all, and then you see the blocking combination. Hold it right there if you can. Now here are the 2 guys I'm talking about. Watch the blocking here as the ball is coming in the air, but it's along the line of scrimmage. Here's the ball. Here's the ball coming in here. Here's Dawson, and then here's the guys we're talking about that are blocking up here. Watch what happens. Is this illegal? I don't think so. The ball, but because you're on the line of scrimmage, I don't think it's an illegal block. I think it's an excellent block by the tackle, Justin Hall, and then obviously the touchdown by Dawson. But the most impressive thing about it is all of his offensive linemen are down there with him. There are 3 offensive linemen.
He really had a convoy into the end zone, and that's the only touchdown of the first half. 7-0 Notre Dame after that Meyer to Dawson pass that covered 40 yards. Let's go down to Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Tom. I just talked to Irish offensive coordinator Skip Holtz, and he told me that they're going to make a few adjustments on their blocking schemes because their running game has not been moving the ball as effectively as they want. They've been running to the outside, we've seen in the first half, but they'll try to establish more of a north-south running game in the second half against A&M. He also told all his players to take the tape off their shoes because they're slipping on this field. Jerome Bettis only took part of the tape off of his.
Well, that's his trademark. Here's the second half kickoff. Notre Dame kicking to Texas A&M. The ball fumbled at the 10-yard line by Mitchell. He picks it up and has a pretty good return out to the 25-yard line. So the Aggies, who have trailed 6 times at halftime in this 12-0 season, try to once again rally from behind.
Tommy, again, I got to believe that they're going to throw that ball up and put it up in the air. All right, when you take a look at when Mitchell misses this ball right here, watch what happens to him. He gets to the outside. If he gets by one tackle, not this one, but that tackle there, he had some running room.
A lot of times you see that fumble of the kickoff and the coverage breaks down as everybody tries to pursue the football. Pulling opens with a first down pass complete to Greg Shorp, his tight end, and Shorp has about 12 or 13 yards. He's the Aggies' leading receiver. That's his 25th catch of the season. McGill finally tracked him down with help from Carter, but it's an Aggie first down.
And it's a bootleg play. And what I say by a bootleg play is that everybody goes one way. Take a look. They'll all go to the left of the screen. Watch who comes out by himself. That's Pulling, along with the tight end. He just pops the ball downfield. The tight end picks up a first down. And that is an excellent play by Short.
Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, saying they go to the tight end so often because they often get double covered on their wide receiver, Tony Harrison. Loss in the play. There's Devon McDonald again ripping down with help from Burris. The Aggie runner, Rodney Thomas.
Well, you know, McDonald, take a look at the outside. The Irish have the outside covered. Wesley can't block McDonald sliding along the line of scrimmage. And then Thomas going wide. Burris comes up number 9 and makes a tackle. Again, going wide. Every time that they've gone wide with Thomas, he has lost yards. And that's 5 times, and he's lost yards 5 times.
So now it's 2nd and 14. McDonald bearing down on Pulling, but the freshman got the ball away to Shorp.
For a 1-yard gain.
1-yard gain, but he did avoid the sack. Bursic tackled Shorp after the reception was made.
Pulling's going to be a little sore after this ball game, but watch this. McDonald's going to come up on the left-hand side of the screen. You'll see him. He'll come into play when Pulling throws the ball. There's McDonald coming in. Pulling gets the ball off to the tight end, Sharp, but he only picks up a yard on the play. They can't get the ball downfield. You credit the defensive secondary with excellent coverage, and the pass rush is very important.
Pulling looking over that defense. He said in high school he had to read defensive secondary, something most high school quarterbacks don't have to do. It gave him an advantage. He's going to try to scramble here, and he's trapped and taken down. 3rd sack of the day for the Irish defense. Demetrius DeBose was right in the thick of things for Notre Dame, and A&M will have to punt.
Another guy in there was Covington, and he is a safety man. What happened is that the 2 outside guys forced Pulling up into the middle, and then they had the middle pressure that sealed it. But again, that time it was all line that went there because the secondary didn't really have time to cover anybody. Didn't want to.
Davis below his seasonal average in this game so far. This is a nice punt, hangs high. Fair catch taken by Notre Dame's Mike Miller. Only 34 yards, however, on the punt, and Meyer and company will come on the field. The last time in the '88 Cotton Bowl, Notre Dame scored first then, too, but A&M won 35-10. Option play, and Jesse Cox tackling Jerome Bettis before he got a chance to get going.
How many times you look at a game and you look at a series, every one of them is important, but I really think for Texas A&M defense, this is a very important series. Their offense did not move the ball. Now the defense comes up against Notre Dame. The last time Notre Dame had the ball, they scored a touchdown. They must stop them. I think confidence-wise, they must stop Notre Dame in this drive.
Off to a good start. No gain on the first play. Brooks. Defense all over him. Heichelman and Atkinson surrounding Reggie Brooks and throwing him back. Forward progress had already been stopped, of course. So 2 big downs by the A&M defense.
But they had Brooks in the backfield for a loss, and he gets out of this. This is all Brooks. The toss is there. Watch this. There's Adams. He's the guy that forced him aside. Teichelman is the man making the tackle. He gets knocked off by his own man. Brooks, continuous action, gets upfield, and he picks up 4 yards on the play. That's an outstanding run.
His favorite move is a spin move. He didn't quite get it going then, but he has been an electrifying runner and has made a name for himself amongst the pro scouts.
Offside.
A&M offside. This could be a free play for Notre Dame. Meyer tight ropes down the sideline for a first down. Unless the defense was drawn off, it'll be a Notre Dame first down. Marcus Buckley was way across the line.
Buckley got across in that zone. He couldn't get back. Meyer knew he had a free play, and he was looking downfield, but he had to eat the ball, but he ended up picking up the first down. So they take the first down.
Colts will decline the penalty. There's the signal. Notre Dame has yet to commit an infraction in this game. No penalties against the Irish.
We've seen numerous times in the first half Texas A&M on defense stopping the Irish on the first 2 downs and letting him escape on third down, and it happened again. It would have been third and about a yard, but Meyer heads up football picked up the first down.
Bob Davies saying that #1 priority for his Aggie defense was to stop the run. For the most part, they've done that today. They trail 7-0. A touchdown pass, Meyer to Dawson at the close of the half. Going all the way. Meyer goes deep. And it's incomplete. Miller, the speedster, was streaking down, drew double coverage from Bates and Frazier, and they were just able to jar the ball loose.
Boy, this was about as close as you're going to get to pass interference, and I believe it's by Bates. Frazier, 23, is on the outside. Watch him. Miller is going down. Bates is going to come inside, and watch what he's doing. He is really not, right now, is not looking at the ball. He's looking at the receiver. Now he turns at the last second. This is a fumble. It looked to me like a catch. He had the ball, Miller, and then fumbled the ball. Watch this. He catches it. He's got it in his hands. He takes one. No, again, not from that angle, because Bates comes back and knocks the ball out. That would have been a touchdown. Excellent play by Bates.
Miller actually never had possession, and then Bates was able to rake it away before he could clamp down on it. Here's a draw play to Brooks. Reggie Brooks dodging tacklers close to the first down at the Aggie 45-yard line. Solari and Hendricks finally chasing down Reggie Brooks. He nearly broke the Gippers record on average yards per carry. Averaged 8 yards per carry for the season. George Gipp averaged 8.1.
You know, the most effective runs, when you take a look at it, Brooks here, this is a draw play, but the most effective runs that both teams have had have really been between the tackles, because all you really have to do is beat 2 people.
Burris in the backfield, the full house on 3rd and 1. Straight ahead to Bettis, who has the first down. Chatham on the tackle of Jerome Bettis, but not until he picked up the yard needed as the Irish went to their full house, old-fashioned T formation backfield with the strong safety Jeff Burris joining the running backs.
Again, when I was talking about important for Texas A&M defensively to stop Notre Dame on this drive is because their offense, they have not done anything all day long. They had one decent series, but that was all. The defense is going to have to win this football game.
Meyer changing the play, perhaps 7th play of the Notre Dame drive. It's a handoff to Brooks. Reggie Brooks grabbed around the ankle by Patrick Bates. And a gain of around 5 yards. Bates is one of the mainstays of the Aggie defense who may forego his final year of eligibility. He's a junior from Galveston who transferred from UCLA because he was afraid they were going to make him into a linebacker. He has linebacker-like numbers, 95 tackles to lead the Aggie defense this year, but he may come out.
He's a safety, folks, 6'4", 225, and he is all of that.
Bettis, the first man on the Irish option play. Short of the first down, tackled by England and Shorter.
And there'll be no secrets on this play. You're about a yard and maybe a half for a first down. You go right back up the middle again.
And Burris will come back in. 2 tight ends, Smith and McBride, with Brooks, Bettis, and Burris, the killer bees in the backfield. Before it got started.
Now the only way that that's a defensive penalty, because they can get over and get back, is if they touch someone. So there has to be, if they're saying it's against Texas A&M, but
dead ball, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty.
We look at this line. I thought the defense really has to touch someone now. 73 is Justin Hall. Does he move at all? He's edging. But here, when you come across, they touched helmet to helmet right there. And that's when they called it.
So Notre Dame gets the first down by penalty, advancing the ball to near the 28 of Texas A&M. First down, Irish. Just over 8 minutes left in the third quarter. 7-0 Notre Dame. Option, Meyer keeps. Not much there. Jesse Cox and Steve Solari, linebackers on that side, shutting off the option play.
There really was a good play by Solari coming from the inside. Cox forces Meyer back to the inside. There was no place to toss the ball, and Solari makes the play. Good pursuit.
10th play of the Notre Dame drive coming up.
Like the first half.
Yep.
They had 14, I think, in the first drive.
And then Brooks fumbled. Two tight end formation. Fake to Brooks. Meyer lobs it for Bettis. Touchdown.
Boy, did Meyer take a shot from Eric England. I don't think Meyer saw the touchdown to Bettis. It was a great throw. Bettis got beyond the defense. He sells the blocking very well, Bettis, when he comes out of the backfield. Bettis comes out, watch this. It looks like, all right, am I going to block? No. And then Bates gets caught up inside, and Bettis gets downfield. What an excellent throw and catch, touchdown. But I'll tell you, Rick Meyer took a shot from England.
Not a very good snap, but Hendrick boots it through the uprights. Jerome Bettis is the 4th leading receiver for the Irish this season, and he has scored 3 touchdowns via the pass. This is the 3rd. It covered 26 yards from Rick Meyer to put Notre Dame up by 14.
From the inside, number 92, as soon as Myers throws, bang, he gets hit here, and then England drives him all the way back, and Myers trying to look downfield to see the touchdown. Good hit, good throw.
Well, of course, if he had seen it, he would see Jerome Bettis.
6 for 6, baby!
All right. 6 for 6, Jerome Bettis with the touchdown, and the Irish have scored the last 2 times they've had the football. Hendrick with the kick. It's a short kick fielded by one of the up men. And a pretty good return. Detron Smith with a good return for the Aggies. Let's go to Hannah Storr.
Mobil Corporation is in the 5th of a 7-year agreement to sponsor the Cotton Bowl. I'm joined by Chairman Alan Murray. You guys have sponsored a lot of sporting events, auto racing, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Why the Cotton Bowl?
Oh, well, Dallas, of course, very special to us. Texas, Southwest Conference, we recruit from there. And so it's just a natural. We wouldn't have sponsored any other bowl.
Notre Dame was a bit of a controversial selection, being the number 5 team in the nation, but I know that you feel it was a good one.
It was a great selection. I think it was very good for the game. I think it was very good for the Southwest Conference. You know, the Southwest Conference always does better in coaches' polls and media polls, and I think that'll get recognition.
All right, thanks, Mr. Murray. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Flag down, that play blown dead before it got started, and certainly the Irish proving they belonged in the Cotton Bowl with a 14-0 lead on the unbeaten Aggies.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Boy, until I saw those flags, looked like Rodney Thomas. Notre Dame just stopped. But once the whistle blows, everything stops.
John Laurie is heading our Big 8 officiating crew at the Cotton Bowl today.
R.C. Slocum, I tell you, that guy there was, his roommate was a guy that played in Buffalo, a linebacker, very good one named Paul Guidry at McNeese. They were roommates at McNeese. Really a fine coach. He's done a great job at Texas A&M.
Well, the defense of the Aggies, well known. Look what Notre Dame has done. They've held Texas A&M to only 87 yards total offense. The Irish starting to get that high-powered attack cranked up. They pick up the blitzer. Pulling, running for his life, and ducks out of bounds after he gained 4 or 5, and then is smacked on the sideline, and the flag flies. Rick Minter's right in the middle of things.
Nice play by Minter. Here goes Pulig to the outside. Now watch this. There's a shot there. Demetrius DeBose. He not only got Pulig, but he got his defensive coordinator and everybody else over there. But right at the beginning of that play, what a great block by John Ellisor. Number 51, the right guard, comes out, and he's the guy that saved Pulig's life right at the beginning and forced him to start running. He makes an excellent block. We talked to that young man. He just said, hey, I've got to do the job.
He was saying the key could be his blocking on Bryant Young, and Young really has not been a great factor. He hasn't gotten many tackles. He hadn't called his name very often, so Ellisor doing a good job. So the first Irish penalty of the day, and that's an A&M first down. Ball at the 48-yard line. This is the most that A&M has trailed this season. Their biggest deficit previously was 10-0 to Missouri. Pulig's pass overshoots his intended receiver, Shorp, and it'll be incomplete.
The problem with this offense, when you're looking at it now, all you have is one wide receiver coming out of it, and that's Brian Mitchell, number 18, and then Gross, number 33, who is the fullback coming out of the backfield, and the tight end. So you've got to get some wide receivers involved in his ball game. They've got Ryan Matthews, number 81, in the game now.
He split wide to the bottom of your screen with Mitchell in the slot left. Pulig looks like he wants to run the option. He'll keep it and get to the line of scrimmage and no more. All the white shirts surround him there with Devon McDonald, the first to reach Pulig, and then joined by Anthony Peterson. McDonald is having a tremendous game. He's bidding to join his twin brother Ricardo in the NFL next year.
Well, he really is. I'm going to tell you something. This has been all McDonald. Really defensively, he has made some great plays. Peterson is also in on the play. Number 45 is McDonald. Watch this. He goes bing, gets back into the play. Excellent, excellent inside. Peterson, 49, the inside linebacker, gets the first hit, and McDonald helps out.
Could be a blitz coming. Now the Irish back out of it. Pulig has it batted down at the line of scrimmage by Brian Radigan.
Brian Radigan was running. It looks like he was going to come on a blitz on the outside. DeBose was coming from the right and the left of Pulig. And Radigan, watch this. Here comes DeBose. He's not going to get there because Pulig is moving away. Wesley can't block him. But when Pulig throws this ball, Radigan is right there and knocks the ball down. On the right-hand side of your screen. Watch this. Bang. The ball hits him right in the head.
Davis to punt on fourth down. Eight of the wind. Miller calls a fair catch at the 8-yard line. Might have been better advised to let it bounce. It's a 50-yard punt led by Devon McDonald. Notre Dame leads.
I got an 88 Chevrolet Silverado with 304,000 miles. I drive it to work 125 miles one way to work. 304,000 miles, still rolling.
This is the 1986 Chevrolet Scottsdale. The truck has now 577,000 miles on it. It always gives me my dollar when I needed my dollar.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Keep tires on it, keep gas in it, it'll go.
We drove an engine 200,000 grueling miles using Mobil 1. Then we ripped it apart. What did we find? Nothing. Nothing. Virtually no engine wear. What kept these vital engine parts like new? This part. Advanced Formula Mobil 1. It keeps your engine running like new.
When you rent from Hertz in Florida, you get more than a great car at a great rate. The real bargain is the company behind the car. Because whatever it takes to make your vacation go smoothly, Hertz is there to make it happen. From emergency road service that's as close as a phone to free unlimited mileage. Think about it.
Double figures in the tackle department, pitching a shutout on the Aggies. We already mentioned McDonald has a twin brother, Ricardo, in the NFL. He had a younger brother that in the summer of 1991 was killed in gang-related violence. McDonald keeps a picture of his younger brother on the wall of his dorm room at Notre Dame, dedicates every game to him, and is having a tremendous Cotton Bowl here to open 1993. Reggie Brooks with that spin move is to the 17-yard line, pinned there by Bates in England.
I mean, what great power he has. You know, this is really the first time I've seen Brooks in person, and I'm really impressed with this young man. I mean, he's got great strength and power. Watch his legs, continuous movement of his legs. He really never stops. He's moving all the time. He gets hit, he turns. He moves back to the inside. That was Jesse Cox, who's also getting blocked. Cox really didn't have much of a chance.
16 carries, 79 yards for Brooks, who got 9 on that last one. Bettis lowers his head like a battering ram and drives Aggies backwards for another Irish first down.
You know, Jerome Bettis said to us, he said, I'm playing for Notre Dame and to win, but there's one other thing. He says, I am playing a little bit for myself. I want these people to take a look at it. I think he's coming out.
That's a decision he says he'll make in the next few days. The deadline has been moved up, of course. I think it's, what, January 6th now, or something like that, that the deadline for underclassmen to declare for the NFL draft. First down Irish, 4:52 left in the third quarter, 14-0 Notre Dame. Here's Brooks. Brooks almost burst free, tackled at the 35 by Patrick Bates. Brooks only the 4th Notre Dame rushing back in the storied Irish football history to gain over 1,000 yards.
Look at the offensive line. Knapp, Taylor, Ruddy, Norman, and Hall. I mean, they're just, watch them. Here's right at the line of scrimmage. This is what you're seeing from down the line. Now, all they're doing at the line of scrimmage, they're there. And Brooks and Bettis are looking for a hole. What has to happen is one of those linebackers or a safety, when they see the hole, they have to fill it right now. And they're not doing that. Because right at the line of scrimmage, Tom, the defensive linemen are not strong enough at this point with that load of offensive linemen coming 1 and 2 at a time to hold these guys off and make the tackle. So what they have to do is hold up the lineman and hope that the linebacker or either one of the safeties make the hit into the hole.
Burris that time just burrowing under that offensive line as they were pushing the defense backwards for another Irish first down. This is the ball control now for the Notre Dame offense. That powerful ground attack, eating up some time as well. Meyer dives toward the first down. He'll be a little short. Patrick Bates tripped him up. Rick Meyer from Goshen, Indiana.
So you want to know how tough this young man is right now? You know, he knows. He really knows he's going to be a #1 draft choice in the National Football League next year. And here he is throwing his body all over the field. He's running quarterback options. I know they're being called at the bench, but he still has the right to call an audible and say no thank you. But I mean, he just shows you how tough this young man is. He's not afraid to keep the ball. He's not afraid to take a hit. I like it.
Irish drive began on the Notre Dame 9-yard line. They're all the way out close to midfield. Brooks, big hole. Just tripped up at the last minute at the Aggie 40-yard line. Derek Frazier got a hand out to Trent Brooks, or he was gone.
Oh, what a great block by Todd Norman, number 66. So watch it, the hole. Norman pulls, and there's the blocking. They just seal off on the backside. See to the right of the screen? That's Norman getting a sensational block on the outside on Atkinson, and the hole was there. He also got a nice block up front from Hall, too, because they pulled from that side. They pulled the guard and the tackle.
Brooks has now gained 99 yards, gets a breather. Lee Becton comes in. Lee Sellers is the fullback. The flag goes down.
Todd Norman, you make an excellent block. We tell how good you are. And then you go offside.
Prosperity, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Then you go offside.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
See, that negates the good play in the coach's eyes, believe me.
Well, Notre Dame has kept to the ground. 6 rushes, 51 yards this drive so far. Now it, though, is 1st and 15. So we'll see if Meyer goes to the air. Brooks is back in. Draw play. That's Becton. Lee Becton twisting forward. Got 8 yards on the draw before he's tackled by Cox and Solari.
Boy, you know, when you look at this offense now, the one thing that the Texas A&M, when they were able to run the ball at all, it's between the tackles. If you take a look at Notre Dame, that's exactly what they're doing. They're running inside the tackles.
R.C. Slocum was the defensive coordinator of the Aggies when they won their only other meeting against the Irish in the '88 Cotton Bowl. William Pollard in the game and split wide to the right. Aggies came to the blitz. Instead, it was a handoff to Becton, who nearly broke it. Becton tripped up at the 30 by Jesse Cox, but he might have had even more than a first down run. Looks like he has enough for the first.
When you run a blitz, everybody is supposed to take a gap in a blitz. Now here you see the two inside linebackers. Watch what they do. They're coming right up inside, and the offensive linemen take them on very well. Then there's some excellent blocking at the point of attack. Zellers, number 34, is the fullback, and he gets a terrific block, and it allows Becton to pick up the first down.
First down for Holtz, Meyer, and Notre Dame. Rick Meyer, Goshen, Indiana. His dad was a high school coach who retired from coaching before Rick got to the high school. And when his dad was gone, Rick learned to throw the football by pitching with his mom. Holtz came to recruiting down in Goshen and had a very memorable visit. He slipped and fell on the ice as he was going up to the Meyer house. Meyer nearly went to Michigan. Bettis, who is from Detroit, Michigan, rips off about 5 or 6 yards before he's taken down by Cox and Buckley. And a fight breaks out.
And a flag goes down. Bettis was very upset. It all happens at the end of the play. Now, what we're going to see right now, whatever happened to Bettis. Here we go.
Personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Right there, I don't know what's excited Bettis that much, but the foul happens afterwards. All right, here comes Bettis right at you. Cuts back to the inside. He's hit there. He's hit there. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the play right here. But when he gets up, I guess Bates said something to him that he didn't like. Now, it's got to be. Bates didn't hit him or anything, so is it a penalty for swearing?
Well, they said personal foul. They can penalize you for taunting, but that's unsportsmanlike conduct. They said personal foul. Stepped off against the Aggies, and the Irish had the ball at the 12. Personal foul mouth. Boys will be boys. Brooks picks his way forward. Brooks is still on his feet. Fumbles the football.
If he does fumble the ball and they lose it, you cannot condemn a guy like Brooks for doing what he does. He's just trying to make things happen. The one thing that happens when you do this, they talk to us about Rodney Thomas doing the same thing. That when they're trying to get extra yards and do a little bit more, you're tired, you forget to hold on to the most important thing, and that's the football. And that time that ball was stripped away from Brooks. Texas A&M gets the ball back. They've got about 97 yards to go to score. Here it comes. When you see Brooks, I mean, it's a tremendous run. Look at how many times he's hit. Now, right here, he's stopped. You think? Wrong. He moves back to the outside. He spins back again, and as he's trying to make that move, the ball is pulled out by Hendricks, number 40, as a safety, and they get the football back.
Hendricks strips the ball from Brooks. The second fumble by Brooks. Here's a real close-up look at it. And look at
Hendricks just pulled it away. Yeah, because Brooks couldn't get his right arm back to get a hold on the ball.
For years, Hefty has set a standard for strength. Now we've set a standard for value. We've put 20% more kitchen and trash twist tie bags in every box. And we're offering them at an everyday low price. A message that good is worth repeating. Today's Hefty. Our strength is value.
Jim was going where no man had ever gone, into the darkest jungles of Malaysia.
You find it, Jim?
Yeah.
Thought you could use a cold one.
Great. Ice-cold O'Doul's. Not alcohol, and hey, only 70 calories. Just right for a true adventurer.
Second time in the game. He said it's testing you. Life is not fair. And he said, don't let them know it bothers you. Aggies recover the fumble, but they're still backed up to their own 4-yard line. Notre Dame had gone from the 9 all the way down to the 4 before the fumble. Brian Hamilton stopping Rodney Thomas on the Aggie run.
It was an excellent play by Hamilton. You know, when Texas A&M looks at the film of this game, I mean, I promise you, they're going to look in the first half and some plays in the second half. When they run Reggie Thomas between the guards and tackles, when they run him in the hole straight, you're going to see if one guy makes a block, this guy's got 25 yards. Rodney Thomas is there. I mean, this guy is an excellent runner. They can get him into the secondary. He'll get 30 yards for you.
Polig has to scramble. Everyone was covered, and he fumbles the ball. DuBose has it for Notre Dame. Demetrius DuBose said, we're going to remind Polig he's a freshman in the Cotton Bowl, and they just did.
Well, they did, and they've been sending a lot of people at him, and Polig has been got some little happy feet back there. And DuBose, 31, you're going to see him. He's just in coverage, but he sees the ball come out. Watch this, and the ball bounces right to him. Perfect. Bing, right into his hand. Makes a play. Outstanding by the defensive line. Look at this. You're looking again at Hamilton, number 90, getting in, hitting Polig. Ball bounces right into Bose's hand. Notre Dame has the ball at the 12-yard line.
Fortuitous bounce for DuBose off that artificial turf, which will be torn up starting tomorrow with natural grass going into the Cotton Bowl Stadium. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Notre Dame with a first down at the 12 of Texas A&M. Full house backfield. Burris is in there. Meyer runs the option. Rick Meyer, just short of the goal line. Patrick Bates kept him from getting in.
Isn't he something? Isn't he something? I mean, again, let me remind you, folks, this guy's going to be a #1 draft choice. He may be in the top 2 picks. But watch him. Here he comes. He's coming out, but he's got an awful lot of blocking in front of him. Everything is working perfectly for him. He's moving on down the line of scrimmage. And here he goes. Almost gets the touchdown. Bates comes up and makes the play. But again, he's putting it on the line. And you got to like it.
The Irish have rushed for 125 yards in this quarter. First and goal inside the 1. Bettis for the touchdown.
You think Bates didn't hit Bettis? And look at it. Bettis wants a piece of Bates. This one started before. There was a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct on Bates before. And Bates, look at this. Come on out here in the middle of the field. Let me talk to you out here. I'm going to tell you what.
I don't think I'd want to make him mad.
And I don't want either one of them. Bates is 6'4", 225 pounds. Bettis is 6 foot, 247.
Hendrick will try to add the extra point. He's perfect in 3 attempts now.
All right.
So Notre Dame taking control of the game.
Now you want to know what makes Bettis upset? It's Bates. 29 on number 6. And I'm going to tell you what, there is a collision at the goal line. Here they come. Here's Bettis in. Watch this. Hello. Head to head. That is a great lick. Look at Bates, and he's going after the ball. He pushed Bettis aside. Bettis said, hey, wait, I got a touchdown. Now I want to talk to you, son. Come here a minute. Head to head. That was a great lick by Bates.
That's worth another look.
Well, watch the head-to-head contact. That's the good part. Here it comes. Bang, bang. The ball goes down.
Remember, those two started this little feud earlier in the quarter. Bettis has the last word here.
The problem is Bettis is looking up to Bates. He's got like 4 inches on him. That is a great lick. Good run, good hit. It's nice how they have to spit the mouthpiece out before they can start talking. It'd be tough to yell at a guy with that thing stuck in your mouth, wouldn't it?
Well, there'll be a lot of talk flying, too, this weekend when the pro playoffs begin.
That's what you got to understand.
Now the coach is saying life's been good to you.
That's what they're going to do. Yes, sir. I still got 6.
I told you he had the last word. Here's the return by Mitchell, and it's a good one. things starting to get a little rough there. The tackle by Jeremy Sample after a 32-yard Billy Mitchell return, and Pulig will come back on the field after he fumbled on the Aggies' last possession. Well, I was speaking of the pro playoffs. They begin this weekend, and we'll have a key game as the Buffalo Bills host the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon scheduled to return to action. Thurman Thomas for the Buffalo Bills, but no Jim Kelly. What do you think?
No Jim Kelly and a whole bunch of defensive guys that are nicked up for Buffalo. This is going to be really a tough test for Buffalo. Remember, losers go home.
It'll be on NBC this weekend. Pulig hands to Thomas. Blockers in front. He tries to cut up and can't. Taken down from behind by Brian Hamilton, who came from the offside with a rush.
Boy, between McDonald and Hamilton, it's been a field day for these two guys. They've been running up and down the field, but Hamilton that time, you talk about excellent pursuit. He comes from down the line of scrimmage, and they're trying to go wide again, and you pick up 1.5 yards. If the play takes too long, we're at the end of the third.
We are indeed. The end of the third quarter. Notre Dame 21, Texas A&M nothing. We'll be back to the Cotton Bowl after these messages from your local station.
While the other two networks air their Amy Fisher movies on the same night, NBC is where the action is. NBC presents Jean-Claude Van Damme for the first time on television.
Lionheart.
You make the choice. Another Amy Fisher or Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's going to be simple. Lionheart, NBC Sunday.
It's America's newest thrill, swimming with hundreds of man-eating sharks. Now John Scott takes you undersea to experience the ultimate terror firsthand. Dateline Tuesday.
I'm Coach Kathy Inglis. As a basketball coach, I spend a lot of time traveling through Vermont in the winter. And with all the mountains, dirt roads, and snow, we all know what a challenge that can be. I want something that I can rely on no matter what the road conditions. And that's Subaru. It's what to drive. The all-wheel versatility of the Subaru means that it's remarkably easy to handle no matter what the weather. Visit Twin City Subaru, Vermont Subaru Source, Route 2, Montpelier. Twin City Subaru would like to remind you,
please don't drink and drive.
Tri-State Megabucks presents Rich Little, the world's greatest impressionist, as Marcel Marceau.
Je suis content that ici pour Tri-State Megabucks.
Rich baby, Marcel Marceau is a meme.
A meme?
A meme.
Don't crowd me, pilgrim.
Play Tri-State Megabucks today, and you could be rich for just $1.
Why? Somebody get a rope. Yo.
The Ford Taurus features like standard driver's side airbag, optional passenger airbag, anti-lock brakes, and...
We interrupt to announce up to $1,500 cash back on Ford Taurus. Your Ford dealer wants to make Taurus the #1 selling car in the U.S., so they'll do just about anything to help you get into one. $1,500 could mean no money down before you buy any other car. Hurry to your New England and Northern New York Ford dealers, because this offer ends January 5th.
Hey, listen, for a first look at today's weather, you join Tom Metzner and me right here on Then I Blew It.
The young Texas A&M Aggies, their dreams of going 13-0 for the season in jeopardy. They have a history of coming from behind, but they trail Notre Dame 21-0 as we start the fourth quarter. Can the Aggies pull it out? They've got a long ways to go, and they need some offense in a hurry. 6 times they've come from behind to win, but they're down 21 to an Irish defense that is playing tremendous football. Pulig's pass on target, complete to Harrison. Tony Harrison with room down the sideline. Harrison taken out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Tom Carter. There's the big play A&M was looking for.
That's the one that they needed to get him back in this ball game. And what a play by Tony Harrison. I mean, and Pulig, you talk about putting the ball where you have to put it. Watch what Harrison does. And watch how Harrison comes back to the ball. Number 3. See him? He sees Pulig in trouble, so he comes back to the ball, and then he makes the dash. When he heads for the end zone, Tom Carter, number 13, takes the proper pursuit angle right there and then runs him out of bounds. But it's an excellent play. They're inside the 25-yard line.
37-yard strike, Pulig to Harrison. First down, A&M at the 24 of the Irish. Play action. Pulig for the end zone. Man wide open, he overshot him. Ryan Matthews was all by himself, and Pulig misfired.
When you take a look at this play, number 20, Rodney Thomas, do you know that he blocks 2 guys on this play? Now look at the end zone. It's wide open, and Pulig just throws the ball away. But Rodney Thomas, I mean, he got thrown into it, but he ends up making 2 blocks on the play that gave Pulig the time to throw the football.
Split backs, they usually throw from this formation. We expect them to here, 2nd and 10. Pressure on Pulig, ducks under, and throws it incomplete at the feet of Greg Short. Nick Smith was bearing down on Corey Pulig, and he had to unload it.
Well, Smith goes for the head, and if he goes for the body of Pulig, he makes the tackle. Coming right up the middle. Look at, nobody blocks Smith here. Watch where his arm is. Watch at the head. If he goes for his body, he makes the tackle and gets the sack. But he went for the head, looking to try to hit the ball away. Pulig gets the ball off.
Crucial 3rd and 10 coming up for the Aggie offense. This stage of the game in this part of the field, I'm sure it's 4-down territory. They need a big play here on 3rd. You bet it is. Pulig with time, shoots it, ending through the end zone, intended for Brian Mitchell, but looked like miscommunication. Mitchell broke inside, pass went outside.
Well, Pulig's he comes out here and he's looking at Mitchell, and he wanted to throw the ball to the corner. Mitchell was going more towards the post.
And the boos ring out as Venetoulias will come on apparently to attempt a field goal.
I think one of the things that they want to do here too is not to get shut out in this ball game. They've come this far, and they come away with nothing is really going to be discouraging. So if they can put 3 points on the board, and you've got to be optimistic and believe that anything can happen. Don't know if it will or not, but anything can happen.
I don't know. This one's 41 yards. Venetoulias missed earlier from 44. Some second guessing of this decision. On 4th down, they go for the field goal. Venetoulias has it up and through. So A&M finally breaks the shutout. 14:27 left in the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic. Notre Dame's lead now is 21-3 over Texas A&M. The walk-on that is on the kickoff team.
Bull Reiner, he gets to go down on the kickoff. There are 8 other 12s on the sideline.
Bounces at the 10, taken on the hop by Miller. Bull Reiners got a piece of the tackle. The 12th man. It's the famous Texas A&M tradition. It began in 1922 at the Dixie Classic, the predecessor to the Cotton Bowl. A&M versus Center College from Danville, Kentucky.
These are walk-on people. Remember, he's not just flying down the field. He's looking. Watch this. He makes the tackle. Cole, nice tackle.
In that Dixie Classic, E. King Gill, who was a basketball player at A&M, was in the press box. He had played a little football before, and as the injuries mounted up, Coach Bible looked up to the press box and signaled Gill to come down. He changed into his football uniform under the stands, came to the sideline, stood there the whole game, though he didn't play. But the A&M students keep alive the tradition with the 12th man on the kickoff, and also by standing throughout the entire game in honor of the original 12th man, E. King Gill.
And again, Rick Meyer shows his versatility. I'll tell you that, Rick, get it all out of your system in this game, because when you get to the pros, you're not going to be doing that. They don't want you to.
10 rushes for 34 yards, Rick Meyer. That was a first down run.
Excellent run. I mean, and he jumped over a block, picks up the first down. Again, get it out of your system. They don't want you to do that.
A&M defense, the wrecking crew. They need a big stop. They need to get the ball back. Time running out. Brooks, Hansen, spun down after a gain of 2 or 3. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Well, Tim Brown came into this Cotton Bowl as a Heisman Trophy winner back in 1988 and was completely shut down by the Aggie offense in the second half. R.C. Slocum reminded his team about that, Tim, before the game. Do you have bittersweet memories coming back?
Yeah, it really was. You know, it was great for me to come back here and end my college career at home, but at the same time, you wanted to go out as a winner, and being the way the game ended, you know, it was a bittersweet day for me.
Well, this is the opposite scenario. The Irish have been able to move the ball very effectively in the second half. Why?
Yeah, I think the running game is really taking over. You know, our offensive line is so big, and now they're just wearing down the guys, and we're just running well with the ball.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Okay, Hannah, there's the pitch to Brooks on the sweep. A&M defenses that well, led by Patrick Bates. He's still in there.
Boy, does this Bates hit you? You know, and there is some question, is there any doubt that he's going to come out? He's coming out. 6'4", 225 pounds. I mean, you've got to have help from your other players on defense. And Brooks is coming out. And watch the lick that Bates puts on him. You saw him hit Bettis on the touchdown in the third quarter. Here's one in the fourth quarter. That is an outstanding tackle.
Bates, a former Texas high school long jump champion from Galveston.
He didn't want to hear anything about linebacker, did he?
No,
he really didn't. He wants to be a safety.
Oh, no. Flag down. Another free Notre Dame play, apparently. Brooks doesn't get much. Jesse Cox made sure of that, but it could be 5 yards against the Aggies.
England was offside. Eric England, number 92. He gets into the neutral zone and can't get back.
Offside defense.
See those other bowl scores, and of course we'll be going to the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl right after this one with the Federal Express Orange Bowl winding things up this evening here on NBC. R.C. Slocum and Lou Holtz both telling us this week that the right performance here, and if the other games fall just right, the winner of this Cotton Bowl could wind up number 2 in the nation.
They're looking at a tie in the Miami-Alabama game. I don't think so.
That was one of the motivating tools they used, though, with their players. Here's the full house backfield on 3rd and 1. Bettis dives. Is thrown back, but I believe his forward progress will be enough for the first down.
Well, it was almost an outstanding play by Marcus Buckley, number 9, the outside linebacker, who just went into the hole, made the hit, but Bettis never stopped moving his legs and picked up the first down.
Certainly Holtz's Notre Dame team turned things around after the loss to Stanford, and by the end of the regular season, they were playing some of the best football of any of the colleges, Miami and Florida State included, Alabama as well. The Irish really hitting their stride late, beating USC, Penn State, Boston College to wind up the season, all ranked teams. Bettis nearly broke loose. He's to midfield with another Irish first down. Atkinson and Bates hanging on.
You know, the interesting thing is when you talk to both the coaches, Slocum moving his legs and picked up the first down.
Certainly Holtz's Notre Dame team turned things around after the loss to Stanford, and by the end of the regular season, they were playing some of the best football of any of the colleges, Miami and Florida State included, Alabama as well. The Irish really hitting their stride late, beating USC, Penn State, Boston College to wind up the season, all ranked teams. Bettis nearly broke loose. He's to midfield with another Irish first down. Atkinson and Bates hanging on.
You know, the interesting thing is when you talk to both the coaches, Slocum, and they were sitting there talking about, well, Holtz had Slocum saying, this is a one-game season. This is a game, you know, they hadn't really played for a long period of time, and to get the guys ready, they had exams, they have all these things, distractions, but they got down here, they got some good work in. Obviously, they did. And you're right, Notre Dame, they were talking about how well they were playing at the end of the season, about as well as anybody in the country.
And they lead 21-3 with the clock ticking away. That spot was just short, just inches short of the first down. It's second down for the Irish. And this time Bettis makes sure as he dives ahead for a yard. Lance Teichelman downing him there, but it is another Irish first down as that ball control running game is taken over. 21-3 and the clock showing 11-11 left in the Cotton Bowl.
You know, you've got a big offensive line. Let's go down at Napa's 271, Taylor 294, Ruddy 278, Norman 289, and Hall 297. That's a big offensive line.
Tim Ruddy, the academic All-American, had a perfect 4-point this last semester in mechanical engineering.
I forgot to throw in that small tight end at 6'4", 246. That's Smith.
Option play. Meyer keeps again. Another first down for the Irish. Meyer continues to call his own number on the option. Actually, that's a read. You don't call it, but he's kept several times today.
Well, it is, but you know, you really, in this kind of weather and as cold as it is, you really don't want to toss the ball. But take a look at the blocking that he gets. He's got Bettis right in front of him, number 6, who gets an excellent block. Buckley is too slow getting there. But the nice part about this play is Meyer goes down after he picked up 10 yards and really did not take a hit.
240 yards rushing for the Irish, and they've held A&M to only 54. Did you say before the start of the game that the team that passes most effectively would win?
Well, if you take a look at Notre Dame's first 2 touchdowns were passes, and that's what put them on the board. The one at the end of the half was a long pass, and then the one to Bettis was also a pass. And then when you have control of the football game, obviously you're going to run the ball, or you shouldn't be coaching.
Well, the Irish do indeed have control. Meyer with 2 touchdown passes, one to Lake Dawson in the final minute of the first half. Then he hit Jerome Bettis on a short one in the 3rd quarter. Bettis rushed for another 3rd quarter touchdown. There's Dawson, who had the first TD of the game. And now the Irish with a productive rushing attack, trying to put A&M away and end their perfect season.
Teichelman is getting up a little bit slow. He fell on this, and this surface is hard. He just looked like he disappeared.
First thing that strikes you about this Aggie team is the youth. Teichelman's a junior.
Watch this here, and when he goes in, and watch this, then they cut him right there. He goes down and lands right on his backside.
Out of Austin, Texas. 10th play of the Notre Dame drive. There's the full house again. 3rd and 2. This time it's Burris that gets the carry. Burris tackled by Sam Adams. Burris is the strong safety on the Irish defense, but he's carried 7 times coming into this Cotton Bowl game and scored 3 touchdowns. He has the most minutes played of anybody on the team. Burris receiving honorable mention All-America selection this year. He was a high school All-American in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Throw back to the old days. 2-way player. I like that.
Were you a 2-way player?
College? Yes. Well, I played, when I made a wallet out of
the rules were such, weren't they? When you played at the Citadel, then you had the most. They had limited substitution.
Yeah, I was recruited down there by Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, and he told me in order for me to go there, get that great scholarship at the Citadel, that I'd have to play both ways. And they had a great season this year at the Citadel.
Surprised Arkansas to open the season.
They got their coach fired, didn't they?
Yep.
That's good.
Well, I don't know.
Not for the coach, but
created a great controversy, as a matter of fact, when it happened.
Oh, it really did.
Less than 8 minutes now in the game. 2nd and 7, Irish at the Aggie 23-yard line. Option. Meyer again. Got only a couple of yards that time. Spun down by Steve Solari. Rick Meyer met Bo Schembechler in the University of Michigan locker room when he was 10 years old, and he went to the Michigan quarterback camp several occasions, and everyone thought that he was going to wind up at the University of Michigan, but he made a recruiting visit to Ann Arbor. They sort of forgot about him. He was a little disillusioned. Notre Dame got in the picture, and Rick Meyer has become the Irish all-time record holder in total offense and in touchdown passes.
He said, all I want to do is win the season, just get away from everything. Get on my own a little bit.
Already picked up his degree. There's Teichelman across the line again too soon. It'll be a 5-yard step off against A&M. This drive has already consumed 7 minutes.
Defense, 5-yard penalty.
As the Irish prepare to put Texas A&M away.
Teichelman, see that hand? That's been doing it all game. I don't think it's a distraction to an offensive guy, but it's something that he does all the time and then jumps offside. Very good player, Teichelman.
Burrows, and is thrown back after he got to the 11-yard line. First down, Notre Dame. Notre Dame just has so many weapons, Paul. We've seen him run the option. We've seen him pass to the wide receivers. We've seen him hit the tight end, who is very talented. They go with a full house backfield, even bring defensive players in. Brooks and Bettis are as good at their positions as anyone in America. Does any team have more offensive weapons? Does Florida State and Miami, I guess you'd have to consider, but there's so many ways that Notre Dame can attack.
They can, and it starts with the offensive line. I mean, it is a huge offensive line, and they work very well together. The one thing when we talk to the Slocum and the Texas A&M coaching staff is that you stop the run. Now, they did that in the first half of the ball game. They stopped the run. I'll get to it in a second.
Bettis inside the 10.
They virtually stopped the run, Tom, in the first half. But what got the points on the board is when you're concentrating on the run, then they throw the football. Dawson makes a run, and it's a touchdown. Meyer hits it. Then they're stopping the run, and you're running again. You're trying to stop the run, and they throw to Bettis coming out of the backfield for a touchdown. So you're right. They have so many ways that they can beat you.
They had only 75 yards rushing in the first half. They have 263 now total, so almost 200 in the second half alone. And speaking of the diversity of weapons, Texas A&M not as diversified on offense, and especially tough for them to come from behind. Meyer to the 5.
That was a busted play. That play there was not designed to go that way, where Meyer's all by himself. Somebody went the wrong way. Now, was it Burris that goes the wrong way? Take a look at it. I mean, here's Meyer goes up better say, hey, well, I don't want it.
You might have been Meyer that went the wrong way. Everyone else went to the left.
Everybody went left, and Meyer went right. Well, actually, Meyer was trying to turn. Yeah, we'll give that one to Meyer. The quarterback's supposed to know where he's going.
16th play of this drive, which has already consumed 9 minutes. Ball control football at its finest. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. Jerome Bettis in what might be his final game in an Irish uniform, making a bid for offensive MVP. 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown in this game.
Tom, I don't think he was touched going through this hole. Watch the hole on the right-hand side. The blocking is absolutely phenomenal. Here he comes into the end zone. He just dives into the end zone. He was not touched.
Jerome Bettis has rushed 20 times for 75 yards. He has 1 reception for a touchdown. Hendrick boots through the extra point. And Notre Dame, some said they didn't belong in this bowl, facing undefeated Texas A&M. Jerome Bettis has scored his 3rd touchdown, and the Irish are in control.
For years, Hefty has set a standard for strength. Now we've set a standard for value. We've put 20% more kitchen and trash twist tie bags in every box. And we're offering them at an everyday low price. A message that good is worth repeating. Today's Hefty. Our strength is value.
Introducing the 32-valve, 280-horsepower Lincoln Mark 8, and the most powerful argument we can make on its behalf. Drive everything else first. The new Lincoln Mark 8. What a luxury car should be.
Nicoderm, nicotine transdermal system by prescription only.
I'd heard about the Nicoderm patch, but when it comes to something like that, I only go to one place for advice.
Nicoderm. Ask your doctor about it.
After all, who knows better?
At BASF, we help make carpet you can work with.
Good night.
And carpet you can live with.
Honey, I'm home.
At BASF, we don't make the carpet, we make it better.
To me, there's nothing better than winning a Super Bowl or a NASCAR race. But to finish strong, you have to start fresh. That's why my car starts with an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries are fresh, thanks to the largest dealer network and a lightning-fast restocking system. So insist on an Interstate battery. For factory fresh power, look for this symbol or call 1-800-CRANK-IT. And start fresh with Interstate.
New Year's Day bowl game excitement continues with a matchup of two top 10 teams as 6th-ranked Colorado battles Country Ismail and number 9 Syracuse in the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl. Then tonight, two of the nation's highest-scoring teams meet as 4th-ranked Florida State takes on Big 8 champion Nebraska in the Federal Express Orange Bowl today on NBC.
Senior quarterback Rick Meyer gets a pat and a hug and a smile from his head coach Lou Holtz. Meyer wearing that famous number 3 that Joe Montana wore during his college days at Notre Dame. And Montana engineered one of the greatest comebacks in bowl history. In 1979, Notre Dame against Houston, it was -6 degrees in the Cotton Bowl when Montana pulled the Irish from behind to beat Houston. Here's the kick. To the 30-yard line. Smith with the return. And let's take a look at that 79 Cotton Bowl. In fact, in the third quarter, Montana was in the locker room being treated for hypothermia. They trailed in the game 34-12. But Montana brought the Irish back with 2 seconds on the clock. He capped off a 23-point fourth quarter with a TD pass to Chris Haynes in the corner of the end zone. And Notre Dame came from behind to beat Houston 35-34. A legendary Irish comeback in the Cotton Bowl.
No, Montana's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, nothing's changed much.
Go ahead.
And of course, that comeback engineered by another number 3, Rick Meyer, against Penn State in the last home game of his senior campaign. Reminded many of Montana.
Did you notice Lou Holtz, so after he patted him on the head, then gave him a hug, there's Rick there, he still didn't stop coaching him, did he? And now, let me just tell you, if he'd have done this, I mean, he's going to coach him until the last second. Lou, you've done a great job with this team.
No doubt that the Irish belong among the elite in college football this season. They proved it with this convincing win over Texas A&M. First loss of the season for R.C. Slocum. And, you know, this guy's done a tremendous job, 12-0 with a team as young as they are, with a freshman quarterback, for goodness sake. And if you look up and down their lineup, nothing but you would expect them to be back in this Cotton Bowl as Southwest Conference champion next year based on their performance in this 92 season. And Greg Hill, his leading rusher on the season, was out with suspension. That takes 1,300 yards out of your lineup right there.
Well, you've got 2 seniors on offense, 2 on defense, and a junior, Patrick Bates, who we think is going to come out. So you're looking at possibly losing just 4 guys off of the starting units of this football team. And I will tell you something, they are going to be strong next year. And Pulley, with all that experience that he got this year, they are going to be an outstanding football team.
Pulley's pass incomplete, broken up, knocked away from Brian Mitchell by Tom Carter at the last minute. There's Carter, another talented secondary member for the Irish. He's just a junior from St. Pete, but talking about the youth of A&M, here's what they have to look forward to in the next campaign, the 93 campaign.
Look at this, there's 4 seniors. Again, we got to put Bates in there. It's probably going to come out as a free safety because he is a junior. But you look at that. That's incredible. They went 12-0, folks. R.C. Slocum and that coaching staff did a tremendous job.
That was Tom Carter, who let Brian Mitchell know the game was still on.
Oh, Carter, he's the one that just stripped one from Mitchell just the play before, which is an excellent defensive play, and now he's got him zeroed in. There's not going for the ball here, folks. That's going for the body. Bang. I mean, that is a tremendous hit. Kind of hurt you a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah. That's enough of that replay. I don't know if I can stand it one more time. And the crowd reacted too as they showed on the big screen here at the Cotton Bowl. Blitz comes. Pulley loses the football. And the Irish have recovered. McGill is the guy, number 89, that knocks the ball away. But, you know, Pulley's been under siege all day long, and he really has not had much of a chance to throw the football, trying to make something happen. McGill just reaches in and knocks the ball away, number 89 for Notre Dame, and they have the ball with 4:10 and the football. You'll see it here. Look at 89. Watch him reach in and knock the ball out right there. McGill makes the play, Notre Dame gets the ball. Flanagan recovers the football. And Meyer, it's been a happy day for him. He has some kind words for the defense, including Tom Carter. We'll be back.
Introducing the 32-valve, 280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8. And the only interior that can keep up with it. Drive the new Lincoln Mark 8, but drive everything else first. The new Lincoln Mark 8, what a luxury car should be.
Hoffa.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
2 thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert.
Now's the time not to trust anybody.
Provocative, says Rolling Stone.
You boom, you boom, you...
The best film of the year. Hoffa, rated R. Now playing, and also from Fox. For holiday relief, take 2. Home Alone 2.
I'll do just that.
Brilliant.
I'm confused.
I understand. Home Alone 2, rated PG. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Start saving $300 a month when you're 23, and you could retire a millionaire. Start at 30, and you might reach 600,000. At 40, about 200,000. Which is why you need Prudential's Financial Assessment Program. A personalized computer analysis of where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help. Because nobody plans to fail. They just failed to plan. Call Prudential Insurance now.
It couldn't have done. He's replaced by Kevin McDougal as Irish quarterback. Here's McDougal, a junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Effective at tailback on the pitch. Got 7 or 8 yards. A lot of subs getting playing action now. Mark Zadoveski's in at right guard and Ryan Leahy at right tackle, the grandson of former Irish coach Frank Leahy. Wallace and Kremplevich are in at tight ends. But a long afternoon, a cold afternoon in the second half for the Aggies, whose dreams of going 13-0. Rarefied air for college football teams. Only a handful have gone 12-0. They were bidding for 13-0 and perhaps a second-place national finish. Notre Dame, with a strong second half, has put an end to those dreams.
You talk about Wallace and Kremplevich, both freshmen. It's just amazing. Leon Wallace, tight end, 6'5", 245. He's 18 years old. Kremplevich, he is 6'5", 235. He's 18 years old. These are freshmen, tight end. They're as big as a lineman. Get a measurement here, 325 and counting.
And it is a first down. This victory by the Irish will tie Notre Dame and Texas A&M for most Cotton Bowl victories. 4th for the Irish. This is their 6th Cotton Bowl appearance. Texas A&M has been to the Cotton Bowl 7 times, counting today.
And it's safe to say Notre Dame will not be throwing the football. Texas A&M will not be calling timeouts either.
And the pitch is to Travis Davis, getting some playing time. Sophomore tailback from Carson, California. Solari on the tackle. Don't forget to stay tuned. Now coming up next will be the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl from Tempe, Arizona, as the Buffaloes of Colorado square off against the Orangemen of Syracuse, the 6th and 9th ranked teams in college football. That's the Fiesta Bowl coming up next here on NBC. Kevin McDougal is the quarterback of the future for the Irish, one would think. He and Paul Phelan will be returning at the signal caller spot. Crowd reacting to that hit by Keefa Chatham. And our bowl lineup concludes tonight with the Federal Express Orange Bowl from Miami, as the Florida State Seminoles take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Contrast in styles, and Florida State hoping to make a point. They thought they might be invited to the Cotton Bowl to face Texas A&M in a battle of third and fourth ranked teams. It didn't happen. Notre Dame came instead, and who can question that decision now, seeing the Irish perform today? But Seminoles might be a bit angry tonight.
There are a lot of teams in the Southwest Conference that are taking a look at Texas A&M and saying, hey, we got to play these guys next year, and they've got everybody back.
Well, Holtz is letting his young players know that he's not happy with something. His Irish offense has amassed 409 total yards today and piling up that 28-3 score. Just a minute 39 left in the 57th Cotton Bowl Classic.
You're about to see an amazing detergent at work. Just look for the big red O. Drive in, fill up with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, and it starts working. Unclogging fuel injectors, cleaning intake valves as you drive, giving your car performance that's trouble-free. So drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
I always rehearse my presentation in front of the bedroom mirror.
In front of the bathroom mirror. Who would know better how to make business travelers feel at home than Holiday Inn? That's why more of them stay with us. Holiday Inn. Stay with someone you know who really knows you.
Thanks to Smart Rate from the Discover card, interest charges now have a whole new bottom line. Smart Rate, currently as low as 14.9%. It pays to Discover.
What will Dame Edna do with Bert, Barry, and Sean?
Dust your bottom with talcum powder.
All new Dame Edna, Saturday at 10, 9 Central.
On NBC.
Lou Holtz starting 93 the way he ended 92, coaching hard on the sideline. And, of course, he had so many great years with the Rocket Ishmael on his team. And you Notre Dame fans will want to stay tuned to the Fiesta Bowl. You can see the Missile, little brother, playing for the Syracuse Orangemen against Colorado.
And he can fly, believe me. You know, I don't watch Lou Holtz. He never stops coaching. I'm telling you something. He's going to let these young guys, he's going to set the precedent now. You're going to listen to what I have to say now.
Capacity crowd 71,600, starting to thin out a bit at the Cotton Bowl as McDougal runs the option and keeps with a penalty marker down.
That's got to be holding in that offensive line.
McDougal can run. He had a 15-yard touchdown run against Purdue. Lou Holtz is still coaching. He's got a hold of Paul Thala, his other quarterback, and he's going to send him into the game.
And the one thing that he's doing, you know, he's got his young players in there, and he wants them to understand that this game is not over with yet. And to play his type of football, he demands 60 minutes. Not 59 and a half, 60 minutes.
Thala's hit 2 of those 7 attempts. He's a sophomore from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. He's played in 7 games for the Irish this year. Or I shouldn't say this year, this season. After the penalty, it's 3rd and 12 with just a minute 20 seconds left. Thala rolls one way, throws back the other, and completes the pass. Miller fumbles the ball, and A&M recovers. Bates, the man on the football for the Aggies. Mike Miller made the reception from Thala, was struggling for the end zone and fumbled the football. Gets a little pat from Thala.
Well, just trying to get a little bit more. Miller's trying to get a little more out of the play. One thing he is doing, he's keeping it inbounds. But then the hit comes in. Bates with the fumble.
Well, last year they said Holtz's Irish didn't belong in the Sugar Bowl. All they did was beat favored Florida. They were favored in this Cotton Bowl game and lived up to it with a sound drubbing of the Aggies today.
For Rick Meyer's final game, if you want to know his numbers, 8 of 16, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 50 yards.
Holtz had 439 yards total offense for the game to only 152 for A&M. That's off to the Irish defense, a much maligned unit last season and early this season, who have really become productive under their coordinator Rick Mentor in the final stages of the season. Minner said he was finally sleeping well after a rocky start in his first year as Irish defensive coordinator, and he may be a Rip Van Winkle after this one because they have played about as well as they can play.
I think you mentioned one thing about Texas A&M that is really true, and when you lose that running combination of Hill and Thomas, because neither one of them carry the ball more than, what, 10 to 15 times a ball game, so they shared it back and forth. And you go into a game with really only one running back, that's Rodney Thomas, and you're behind. You've got to throw the football. Doesn't help much.
And you got a freshman quarterback that is inexperienced, though highly talented. And whoa, there's the ice-cold shower for Lou Holtz. Couldn't quite get away as Lindsey Knapp wielded the cooler. Now a big hug from Justin Hall.
I love you guys.
Devon McDonald is there. What a game McDonald had keying the Irish defense. And the 1993 Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic belongs to Holtz and the Fighting Irish.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. I love you. Thank you.
About this game, Tommy, Mr. Pauly learned a great lesson, and I'll tell you something, you build off of this. He had a tough day. He really had a tough time.
Let's go to Hannah.
Coach Holtz, congratulations. You moved pretty quick avoiding that icy shower.
Well, I tell you what, the players warned me. They didn't want me to get me wet, but they wanted to do it. So they said, Coach Holtz, here it comes. I turned around, I saw it and jumped out, but I'm very happy for the players.
Can you talk about the efforts of Jerome Bettis? His second straight New Year's Day. The guy scores 3 touchdowns. He really rises to the occasion.
Yeah, our whole team played awful well defense. Had we not turned the ball over inside the 5 twice, I'd have been impressed.
I think the one thing that maybe the most emotional moment that we will remember from this game is you giving that hug to Rick Meyer. Were you telling him goodbye?
Well, I didn't know anybody saw it. He came off. His players warned me. They didn't want me to get me wet, but they wanted to do it. So they said, Coach Holtz, here it comes. I turned around, I saw it and jumped out, but I'm very happy for the players.
Can you talk about the efforts of Jerome Bettis? His second straight New Year's Day. The guy scores 3 touchdowns. He really rises to the occasion.
Yeah, our whole team played awful well defense. Had we not turned the ball over inside the 5 twice, I'd have been impressed.
I think the one thing that maybe the most emotional moment that we will remember from this game is you giving that hug to Rick Meyer. Were you telling him goodbye?
Well, I didn't know anybody saw it. He came off. He's been so wonderful. He's run our offense. You know, he does what we ask him to. He doesn't question it. He competes. He's been an outstanding quarterback in our system, and he's now going to go on to be a great one on Sunday. He's got talent, but we don't coach individuals. We try to coach a team.
Well, as a team, they were terrific. And is there particular satisfaction in this win, given that some people felt that Notre Dame shouldn't be here?
Well, no, I felt at the end of the year, though, Hannah, in all honesty, the last 6 weeks, I felt we played better than anybody in the country, and I think today we could have beaten anybody in the country. I feel that way. Other people may not, but I feel that way about our team. The last 6 or 7 weeks after Stanford, this football team's the best I've been around, including '88.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach, and Happy New Year.
That's right. It is New Year, isn't it? Thank you.
Tom?
All right, Hannah. High praise for this team from Coach Lou Holtz. Let's take a look now at our Chevrolet players of the game for the Fighting Irish. Jerome Bettis, 3 touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl a year ago, 3 touchdowns today as the Irish beat Texas A&M. For the Aggies, Patrick Bates, the never-give-up safety who may have played his last game in an A&M uniform. And in conjunction with this program, Chevrolet will contribute $2,000 to the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators for disbursement to deserving college students so they may continue their education. And here was when our 2 MVPs met violently. Bates with a tackle on the touchdown run by Bettis. A few words exchanged, and one has the feeling that these 2 stars will continue their rivalry sometime in the play-for-pay ranks. All right, 28-3. Notre Dame wins the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic, ending Texas A&M's unbeaten season. The Aggies close at 12-1. Tom Hammond.